Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Carl Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave, and we are back for another episode of our Rise of the Goblin'Lords role-playing show. So we are up and running. We are in our 14th episode. I know I'm doing a lot of looking around, but I always have to check the our YouTube just to see how many episodes we're up to, because I never remember and I never prepped this beforehand. So yes, we are back. We're back doing that. You can check us out on the Goblin Cave TV as well, where you can watch us live and chat to us and all the bits and pieces. But you can also find our merch store and our socials, our YouTube channel, all that type of stuff. So you can also check us out there, not just at Twitch TV/Goblin Cave. So we'll go to our cast and see who's here today. Not everybody is here, but we have a very, very, very sleepy Phoebes. So kind of had Rayward go, look, get some sleep. Get some sleep. He was more tired than I'm usually. And that's saying something. So hi everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm always muted.
Hey.
We're gonna do that pause to unmute ourselves.
Yes, you're always muted, Nick. I know, and I can see that reach forward to unmute every time. I know you're about to talk when you do this. Yes. So yeah, we're excited to be back. We're moving from the first chapter of the Rise of the Rune Lords. First chapter being called Burnt Offerings, and we're moving into. Well, I'm not going to say the name of it because it might give a little bit of spoilers. We do have a little bit of a change to the overlay, which I'll just do a quick sneak peek. Like that's going to be coming in as well. So we'll move the overlay looked a little bit as we move through into the new chapters, because this is one of the big epic adventure paths for. Actually, this is the first epic adventure path. For Pathfinder, and it's really well written from the GM's perspective. I'm really enjoying all the background stuff. There's so much stuff going on, and it's interwoven really well, and you'll see probably some of those interwoven bits as well coming up soon. So we'll do our intros and do our bookkeeping, and then maybe a last time before we open our scene again. So, Ursame?
Hi, I'm Ursame, and I play Screech, the greatest goblin the greatest, well, she is the greatest goblin ever, but the greatest bard ever, too.
Well, we'll see about that.
There's no see about it, it's true.
Nick?
I am Nick. I play Jabbersnatch, the blind cleric, worshipper of Demon Gorgon, Babagoo God.
Okay, always scary. Moving along, Trent.
Hi, I'm Treant Monk, and I play Hoplite number 43 of the Red Banner Phalanx, known as Red. And his booms have gotten bigger, and we'll see how that goes.
Yes, because we have leveled up once again, so we will have to do some rolls for those. Although Ray will have to do his bit later. And Kiwi.
Hello, I'm Kiwi, and I play Jank Dogbite, the druid, the cowardly druid, I have to say, and his much braver, probably much cooler companion, Corporal Bitey, the giant raccoon.
It's not being cowardly to be... No, it's totally cowardly. It really is. Totally cowardly. Something going on in this overlay. For some reason, it's going a bit wonky. Yeah. No, it's still a bit wonky. There's something going on here. Anyway, I'll fix it up. Before, for our basic of our housekeeping, the audio and the it's all done through Syrinscape. Syrinscape's an amazing company. They do amazing stuff with board game and role playing. It's really, really cool because, well, you can add the atmosphere, you can add mystique, you can really set a scene, not just in your description, but in the sound of what's going on as well. And for certain campaigns, there's even box text. If you are playing Rise of the Runelords, there's an entire Rise of the Runelords sound set. It's actually their biggest sound set, which is what we're using today. They've got Ghost of Saltmarsh, they've got Mad Mage, Waterdeep, lots of different D&D campaigns, and they're being more and more all the time. And it's not just for those. They've got Call of Cthulhu, they've got pretty much anything you're doing. They've either got a specific one or they've got assets which you can use to make the scene if you're running freeform as well. And you don't have to be running online like we are now. You can load it onto your phone or onto your tablet and run it from there. There's so much freedom of how to use the product and so many different payment options of how much you want to invest in the product. You can go to a full subscription and get everything, or you can just like buy an individual asset for use. So absolutely amazing. Go check them out at Syrinscape.com. Now another thing is you can help the channel and help the players in the channel by going do. I've got no idea what that sound was, but yeah. But you can help the channel by donating to the channel, and if you donate to the channel, every $1 or per 100 bits you donate helps the players by giving them chat dice. So every time you donate, do a hashtag of who the player is or who the character is, and we'll make sure the dice goes to that person. The dice go up in value from D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, increments for every $1 per 100 bits, etc. And they get to be used on attack rolls, on saving throws, on skill checks. And if it goes past D12, it comes to me, I get a D20, and I'll get to use it really badly against the players. But also there's another note is that there's only one active dice at a time, so if you donate to somebody else, that first person loses it. So there's a kind of balancing act between, do I want to save that dice to have it increase in value, use it when we really, really need it, or do we just use it because it's going to go to someone else? So there's kind of that juggling act between the players, and also the fact that I will get it if it gets too high. So that's about it. Don't forget, we do have a merch store. You can find it at the Goblin Cave TV. So you can get t-shirts and bits and pieces, t-shirts, mugs, t-shirts, mugs, backpacks, which I think are really cool. Even my little goblin has a school bag as one of the merchandise stuff, and a few other bits and pieces. So check that out. I think that's about everything. Shall we do our dice rolls of death? Who wants to go first with your hit dice rolls? Because we roll everything in this show. So everything from the stats to the hit dice, every level.
All right, here I go. Oh, wait, not me.
Oh. 6
That was a
maxed out.
nice roll.
Yeah, not bad at all.
It was my max roll.
Yeah.
Roll the 6.
Which is disturbing that a 6 on a D8 is your max. I don't. What? There's okay. I'll just accept that because Java Snatch is quite strange. Who wants to go next? Trent, I think you're getting yourself ready.
Okay, here we go.
Not amazing, but could have
It's
always
better
been
than my
worse.
last roll, but yeah, my hit points are not great with this character.
But you have so much addictions, energy boosts.
This is what happens when you drink so much alchemical things.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fix is more alchemical things.
Short-term game, long-term.
Because now I have to
degradation.
supplement.
Or
Right?
drugs.
We're in the cycle now.
Drugs are bad. Kiwi?
Yeah, let me do that. Hit dice.
There should actually be a roll on the character somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah, you just hit the hit points thing, eh?
Ah, cool. Thank you.
That's why it came up. Hit dice.
Oh.
Ooh.
I actually doubled what I got last time, so I'm up to 20. I'm up to 20.
But then again, you're not in the front line. You're nowhere near the front line.
I hope not.
Front line is always Mr. Bitey in the
Yes,
40s, I
Lisa.
believe, or the high 30s.
6.
Yeah. So there's the difference there. Lastly, Osme. There we go. It's pretty
I
bad.
had a bad feeling. That's why I was holding off.
This is going to get really bad.
We have a low rollers. I think it's mostly me who brings down the average.
No, not with this. Everyone rolled d8s, and we got 6, 4, 2, 3, and that's all on d8s.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. I can only hope that Flibs doesn't roll a 1.
I doubt it. I would expect it to happen. He rolls really bad.
That's okay. You have at least one more hero point back. So
Ooh.
Yeah, we need to build those up again.
you do. You kind of do.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of doing though is with the donations. What I'm thinking of doing is actually having another every time it rotates around, you get an D&D version of advantage on a roll, and if it rotates around again, you can then get the hero point if you don't spend that. So I'm thinking of doing that if that's agreeable, and especially looking at those rolls, I'm thinking, oh my god, we might need it. But then again, we don't get many donations, so it may not even happen. But anyway, and by what I mean by rotating around, every time I get a d20, the players will also get something. So yeah, does anyone want to do a last time on? Do you remember what happened and where you are?
We beat.
Javisach saw nothing but felt a lot of fire
Yeah.
and heard a lot of screaming.
My crown got broken.
I know. Isn't that mean? They broke your crown.
I know. You broke my crown.
It doesn't fit anymore. They're so mean.
I worked so hard for it. I worked so hard for it.
They're so mean.
Poor Screech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Broken shiny.
So last time on the show, we had our goblin heroes. They finally defeated the giant helmet crab, but could not pick up the helmet crab's giant helm. And when I say giant, it actually was a helm from a giant. It's 5 foot wide and made of solid gold. So unfortunately, they had to leave it behind. No, they didn't leave it behind. They kind of picked it up out of the water with a heck of a lot of help, but couldn't really move it further from that. Although Screech found a new camping spot inside.
I mean, I now want to acquire a golden house someday.
Going back through the dungeon, they tried to tackle the pillar of golden coins, again, giant-sized coins, and they found 2 coin slots, one on each side, and thankfully inserted a gold coin on each side, and didn't get to insert the fish hooks, which was about to happen, because that was totally going to happen. But once you inserted the 2 golden coins, the coins dropped, and they weren't really coins because it didn't sound like metal dropping into the ground, and it opened up a new section which was not touched for maybe thousands of years. In here there was a throne room with a strange man talking on repeat and giving orders in an inspiring speech, but didn't really figure out all of the speech of what was going on. You found a room with surgical tables, but it wasn't really torture tables, so not as fun. There was bits about putting things back together, not just taking them apart. And you found part of what you seemed to be a key. A key which was used in the third room, where there was a 7-pointed star thing which you needed to open, and you really couldn't figure it out until Wayward thankfully did figure it out on the break of, hey, we do have a 7-pointed crown, maybe, but of course the crown had been smashed by all the goblins and been ruined and everything, so he mended it to make it fit, but now it doesn't fit as a crown. And Screech is very upset. And I don't know if it's Screech or if it's Ursula, but one of them is upset.
Both.
So the crown now fits perfectly. There's now essentially a handle for the crown that fits underneath it. Put it into the door, unlocked it, and to an empty room with a fire pit in the middle. Shortly after entering the room, it wasn't very empty, and there was a Barghurst there. The original descendants of the goblins and the Goblin'Lords are the Barghurst. At least that's what is believed. And it was a nasty fight. I will admit, I was pulling punches. They are a lot worse, and I actually forgot to have him go back invisible because of his blink spell. And then it was like, yeah, you know what? He's going to kill them all if he keeps on doing it, so I'm just going to not go back invisible and say the spell ran out because, oh my god. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you got through, you're in the room, there's a massive fire pit, and in one corner of the room, on two corners of the room actually, there's shelves, and in the shelves there's just all these candles that are lit. They're not giving off heat, but there's all these lit candles on the sides, say maybe 30 on each side of the room. And in the middle of the room is this demonic green fire pit, which no one really jumped over, but a few monkeys were thrown into. Well, they'll thrown over, but as soon as you go into that square, you are too much damage. I think the monkeys have 2 hit points. Yeah, they were totally gone. So that's kind of where we are in the room. And there's, haven't searched the room, haven't done anything. We just finished at the death of Malefesco? I think his name, probably Malfeshnakor.
Demon dog.
His name doesn't matter anymore. We're now the new Goblin Gods.
Oh, his name
We're
is
the Goblin Killers. Or the God Killers. The Goblin God Killers.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a Barghurst, it was a greater Barghurst. Making it even more fun for 4th level characters, yeah.
Definitely taking its head.
Well, if you take its head, it just looks like a bat-like goblin.
Or dragon spotty, then. People need to know how you think.
It's the fact that it's 4 legs and it's big, it's heavy.
Yeah, can we just drag the body and then just any goblins we see, you say, we killed this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, here's what we do. We cut off pieces of it, and we send them out to all the goblin tribes with a message and a messenger who tells them, this is what happens when you steal from Junk Beach.
Don't touch Junk Beach stuff.
Yeah.
Not don't touch Sandpoint. Don't touch the beach. Destroy
We'll have to send
Sandpoint. Just
a
don't
verbal
touch the
messenger, though, because no one can read. None of the goblins
Yes.
can read.
Yes.
Yeah.
We gotta send messengers.
We'll send a human. Bite or Jake, you trained one of those humans, right? You can send a message. They're big enough to carry bits of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
I need to butter them up a bit because they're like animals, you got to feed them, but humans like shinies, so I've got to give them some shinies just to keep them tame. But, yes.
Yeah, that doesn't work on goblins.
I'm sure we could just paint a few rocks. There's like paint that's shiny, right? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to figure that out because I can't see shiny.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody
Humans
likes
aren't
it so
very
much.
smart. I mean, so it'd probably work.
Yeah.
I grab all the candles, throw them in a backpack.
Okay. The candles stay lit. The backpack doesn't catch a fire.
Is his backpack glowing now?
I got a
Just
lot
as
of
he
these
opens, shine.
You never know where they could be useful. They're like flares. Yeah.
You could actually throw them scarily.
I'm good at throwing stuff.
You can actually
I have a feat that is literally called throw anything.
I know.
Oh, nice.
It's disturbing. But it's part of the alchemist. It's all
But it
kind
could scare someone if you just throw a candle at him. So
So how many of these candles are there? 60, did you say?
I just want to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's actually 16. Oh, sorry, 60.
Wow.
There's a huge amount of them. It's really, over the top. Just scrolling.
They're just candles.
Well, they're not just candles. They're ever-burning candles. Oops, wrong room. That's why it's not coming up properly. There's only 10 rooms on this level. What am I doing? Sorry, there's not... Yes, there's 30 in each corner. There's 60 candles in all.
Okay.
Wow. So they're called ever-burning candles. They are essentially continual flame.
Okay.
That's a lot of them. So what else are people doing in here?
I think Screech
Search
has
this
just
room.
kinda
Search it.
at this point just kind of like kind of slumped down. I don't like crown, and I don't want to fight one of those again.
Poor
You will
Like
search.
And I'm stepping over Screech trying to feel around. And I feel a sudden heat. And I'm like, oh, what's this?
No. Stay
Feels
away.
like fire.
Grab his tail!
Party
Bite. Bitey.
Grab the tail!
Oh, I also forgot to mention that there was also a part last week where Jabbersnatch was riding Mr. Bitey, got knocked unconscious, and was about to fall into the fire. It was kind of pushed the other way.
Bitey.
I saved
Yeah.
Jabba's life!
Yeah. So if you're searching the room, can I get search checks, please? And
We better do it. I think he's jacked up again.
Yeah, I pick up Screech and I start shaking.
Let me go! Let me go!
You gonna search?
Yes, I'll search!
I'll slap some walls. Try to see if I can find another door
Well,
that no one else can see.
I did say I'd search well.
your search rolls have actually been really good, which is scary.
Oh, nice.
But of course, it's flims.
Yeah.
Actually, no. So, Jank, you're... Okay, so just going to move the Bargus out of the room. So, like, you don't have to deal with it and look at it and everything else. And we'll open the map again. Don't say anything. That's totally not subtle here. So, As Flips is going around the walls, and Flips goes, "Hey guys, look at this!" and presses the wall, and like an alcove just opens up. And just as he does that, you do exactly the same.
Hey.
And there's 2 alcoves. And why the
What do
hatchet
we
door is
see?
1 line? It should have been. There we go. And there's 2 secret alcoves at the back of the room. In front of Flibs is what looks to be stacks of. It's stacks of what used to be something, but now it's just dust, and it's just decayed into nothingness. Whatever's been in there, what has been stored in there, has just disintegrated over time. And on the other side, in front of Jank, you've got the same thing. You've got like a couple of shelves, and like the remnants of things on the shelves, like a pile of dust here, a pile of dust there, a pile of dust that looks like it was once a book, but like it's just the shape of a rectangle. That's it. But in dust, that perfect shape. But behind all the, like, in between all the bits of dust and whatnot, on one of the shelves is a small little coffer. A small little silver coffer, about so big.
Hey, I found this in the toilet. I don't know why they hide them, though.
You found a tiny coffin?
Yeah, it's like a fairy's coffin.
Screech.
Open it up. See what's in there.
Screech detects
it
shiny
shiny?
somewhere in the room.
I'll bite
Is
it
it
and see if
shinies?
it's magic. Let me taste it first. Hold on.
All right.
Okay. I thought you were actually biting. No, you're actually detecting magic.
Yeah, that's how he does it.
Just checking. Yep. So you detect magic in the area. Of course, the inside the box there's something magical. The background effects of the preservation, like on the inside the walls, in these alcoves have certainly degraded, like essentially just like degraded over time, and they're no longer functioning. But you can also feel this overwhelming presence of magic in the walls of something else, like all around here, and the remnants as well on that front door. More like that protection, and that whatever was kept in here was supposed to be kept in here. And again, the fire in the middle of the room is also magical. Strangely enough, there's a huge amount of magic coming from Red's backpack. It's just like, it's all small, but accumulation-wise, wow, that's a lot of magic that Red's been picking up. Like, I think it's 63,
You're
64
glowing.
candles now.
Is he going to absorb it?
I don't know. But yes, there's certainly something inside that.
I'll shake it.
Nothing actually moves or rattles.
Well,
It's heavier than it. Like, it's metal, but it's heavier than it. Than
It
just
tastes
metal.
magic. Must be something good in here. I'll open it.
Okay, can I get a saving throw, please?
All of him?
All of them.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought about passing it on to check for traps, but
I love asking for all saving throw of all of them. So that's a nice one. I like that. So inside the coffer, and there's a lot of shiny scroll work on the coffer. I'm sure that. Wait, Samantha, have you been moving Screech behind?
Yes.
yeah. Hey. Red, hold Hold it back.
She's just basically
He's gonna rage.
looming over his shoulder. Chinese?
I only just noticed that she's been moving all this time. Inside the coffer is sand.
There's magic sand in here.
You don't think the sand's magical because your detect magic would still be active.
Something's in the sand.
All right. I'll fish around the sand, see what I touch.
Just dump it all on the floor.
As dust of disappearance, the floor disappears. No. You fish around the sand. There's something metal and small inside.
I'll take it out. I found it. Found something.
Can I get a you fish something out? Can I get a perception from Screech, please? And this may lead to other rolls really quickly.
Let's see.
Okay.
19.
You see that as he's picking this object out, you just get that flash of it's gold, it's a ring, and it's got 7-point star on it.
Uh-oh. Have you got a good hold on it?
Shiny! 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 Let me see the shiny!
No, you...
I assume it's gone.
you can assume right. It's now on Screech's hand.
Easy come, easy go.
On
Precious! My precious!
Is Screech wearing it?
Yeah, sure, she'll put it on.
Okay, so it's now on Screech's hand. Again, it's that 7-pointed star, which you've seen a few times now.
You're really accessorizing here, Screech.
Yeah.
Although you've only detected magic, you don't know what magic it was, or if it's not cursed.
Screech doesn't know. Screech doesn't care.
Irrelevant, I assume. Yeah.
If there will be consequences, Screech will worry about those later.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But that's
Screech just falls down dead.
yeah. That's about the only thing that's actually there, apart from the dust. Like it's the only thing that survived was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a silver box of dust. This is a win.
That box will be worth something.
Don't tell Screech.
Screech is.
I'll like put it away while Screech is distracted. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't find anything else in the room of your searches. Just those two.
All right, recruits, back to Sandpoint.
All right. Got the sweet necklace of elf ears. This is a great day.
You got what?
A necklace of elf ears.
Oh, you do too.
I'm just reading the stuff I have. Silver box. Let me add that. With sand, with dust. Sorry.
Okay.
Javasnatch is trying to scrape the giant thing we killed, the bargain ass or whatever it's called, so they can bring it to the beach. It's their mighty trophy.
So you're going to drag it out.
Yeah, I'll get
Is
Bridie to
attempting
drag
is
it.
kind of its butt, I imagine, is stuck at the door and it's trying to squeeze this creature through.
Yeah.
I think
Lube
we
it
could
up.
maybe handle the head. So let's cut the head off, and then we'll stick it on a pike out there on the beach.
It's like moving a couch. You kind of have to, bring the sides in and then lift it up.
What's a
We can do it.
couch? What's a couch?
What?
Just push
Sorry.
it. It's like grabbing its tail.
Pivot!
Need some lube. Cut it up a bit so it bleeds.
I take my short sword out and I start hacking its head off.
Well, that'll
Okay.
do it.
Yep, it will end up doing, yes.
All right, we'll bring the head on a pike and then show a picture underneath of this thing touching our stuff.
Okay. As you exit out, so there's a few things of just
I am
exiting.
grabbing the crown.
Yes. Yeah. There's a few things about just exiting that you haven't really thought of. One is the fact that you kind of destroyed the bridge.
Don't worry, I have a spell that can allow us to breathe water. We can just float down to the beach.
I hope we're
Well-
not stuck in Mordor.
It'll just take 4 hours to come back. No, 5 hours this time to be able to get out of the water. So we'll be
Gosh.
hanging out in the water for a while.
Okay. So as you raise up through the levels of the dungeon, you get to the top level, to the fort, and that's still open. Yeah, and you start hearing noises of goblins. You start hearing chatter and talk and all other goblins, and it seems like someone's talking to lots of goblins and trying to get them to calm down and trying to talk to them. You can also hear the rasps of dogs.
Dogs. I don't like dogs. Red. There's dogs here.
They're goblin dogs.
Oh.
I'll listen to what they're saying.
Okay. So we'll just move the map in a little bit more so I can see a little bit. Okay. So you can hear certainly one person speak, and he sounds like an old goblin. He sounds like not like you're all goblins, so you do know like the old and. But he sounds like an older goblin, and he sounds like he's. We need to have a plan. We need to bring this back up to make a new clan. The Thistletop goblins were weak. Their old war chief was a moron, an absolute idiot. He fell in love with that angel, and he ruined us all. So I say we need to stop all this fighting. You have lost your clan because of him. Let's rebuild and let's have this as our clan now. We will be the new Thistletop goblins, and we're not going to attack. We're not going to attack those annoying humans. We're going to make sure that we are going to rebuild and stronger than all the other goblins.
I think
Javisnatch pops
all
out
right.
with the head of the
Yeah.
Barghast. Bow to us, for we are the god killers.
we killed all your chiefs.
Yeah.
We're the chiefs now.
We killed the Barghast! We killed the Goblin God! We're
We
better
killed
than
the
all
angel
of you!
girl. We killed them all.
Yeah, we killed her too!
You're
And we
on
could
the
kill
same
you if we
map.
wanted to, but we don't want to. You're lucky for you.
Are you walking into the room?
I think so.
Yeah.
Go.
Sounds like
Javisnatch
it.
tries to walk in the room wherever the room might be, but is mostly just following the voices and doesn't know where the room actually is.
Turn around, Jabba.
Turns.
Okay. So you walk
Yep,
into
we're
the
gonna do
room.
it.
I'll move
Yeah.
the characters inish, including Jabbersnatch. There we go. So you walk into the room, and there's a number of goblins here. They don't look like they certainly are not dressed like the Thistletop goblins. They look like they have been. They look like they've been through a lot. They look like they are not healthy, and they look like they are certainly not well fed. The chieftain, or the person up on the throne, has a panther sitting at his feet, and there's a few goblin dogs around the room as well. And it's the Gogmort who's on the throne. He's been addressing them, and he looks like an elderly goblin. He looks like he's been around for a long time. He doesn't look like a strong goblin, but he looks like he's a wise goblin. One of the thinkers.
6 years old.
He looks like he's one of the thinkers. Someone that would advise a chief or something like that. Maybe a shaman or something. So you burst into the room.
Yeah.
And what is the actual burst into the room part?
Well, I think it starts with Jabba Snatch. So I'll let Nick
It starts with me
describe.
trying to find the entrance to the room. I'm holding up the head, shouting, "Bow to us, for we are the God Killers." This is a false guide. Bow to Baba Guga.
And I think we'll follow right in behind, and I'll be like, "We killed everybody. We killed the angel girl, all the chieftains."
As you
And
burst
this god!
as you burst in with that outburst, all the other goblins they are terrified. Like they're actually terrified, except the one on the throne. They're actually terrified. They don't draw weapons or anything like that. Now you think of it, they don't have weapons on them. But like they you come in, it's like, oh my god, and they move back, and they're really apprehensive, and it's like, the Gogmalt who's on the throne says, and welcome diplomats. Yes, come in. We thank you for killing our false leader. It's like measuring.
Yeah.
Ignore me as I try to figure out the distance between
All right,
us
I
here.
like you.
Yes.
So
Thank-
I am placing you in charge of these goblins.
Thank you. We need to rebuild, and we need to be smart, and we need to have a plan.
And you
Will
keep
you-
away from Junk Beach.
I've got no interest in Junk Beach. There's only junk
That's
there.
right.
No
That's
interest
right.
in Sandpoint. Sandpoint killed this tribe. So we're not interested in Sandpoint. We want to make a strong tribe and bring the other tribes in to work together and not to attack those humans, because that will kill us all again. We'll take out the trolls. That's the way to do it. Ogres and trolls. But we
Good luck.
need to have a plan.
Maybe not as smart as he looks.
He's got an ugly raccoon too. Real ugly.
Yeah, he says the plan will be is we're going to send out the our few members with messages to ask for the other clans who still think that they're working for us to send their greatest heroes, and we'll use those great heroes to then breed a better, stronger clan of superior goblins.
He's kinky.
Yes, you shall be the first sacrifice of many sacrifices. I just smell the fear in this room, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yes,
he's the only
fear the Baba Guga.
He's the only one that's not feared, but the others are certainly feared. Oh yes. But he goes on and is like, we'll rebuild the clan with all the heroes of all the other clans, and we'll ask for their wives and ask for their women folk, so we can rebuild quickly and strong. And by the time they figure out that, well, the other leader is not here, well, we'll be too strong for them, and we'll have their leaders, their heroes, working for us.
Yeah, sounds like what you are speaking of is eugenics, and nothing ever bad could happen from that. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. This is a weird place.
Again,
You think we'll have
So-
to worry about competition against them, though?
Ah.
Don't worry, I have a plan for that. There will be a big blood party after this.
Uh-oh.
problem is, Jabbersnatch doesn't know he hasn't left the room yet.
Oh dear.
So that just comes out as he thinks that he's left the room and there's no one there, and it's just you guys.
I'll lead them out.
Yeah.
Let's go this
So, so you make your way out of the throne room, and I'm just gonna slide paste everyone, kind of. You've got the issue of the bridge, which you totally collapsed. Because that was smart.
So is it just like we just need to retie it?
Well, you could retie it, but the problem is that it's not actually close to each other. As in, it's in the water.
How did those goblins get here?
You don't know.
Jabba, did you say you could make us breathe water?
Yes, I can.
All right,
That's a cool name.
let's go. We'll climb down and swim across.
All right.
Then climb up the other side.
It says living creatures touched and says divide duration evenly among all creatures you touch. So 5 hours divided evenly between all of us.
6
Won't
people,
take us
so
that long to get across.
no problem. There's always the sea cave. Now that you can breathe water.
We couldn't get through because of the current.
Well, you thought it was dangerous to get through because of the current. But if you can breathe water, then there's no risk of drowning.
I had to make strength checks to get through,
Yes.
and eventually I couldn't make them anymore.
It's true.
So,
No
yeah,
problem.
that's not the way through for us.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll try to climb up the other side of the ladder.
So with Abath's lung, do you have to wait for them to actually be able to, like, breathe again?
Looks like
Yeah, because we had to wait
Oh,
for
no.
Bitey.
So what are you going to do for about 40 minutes in the water?
well, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna start hacking up seaweed.
It's
I
the
chase
beach
fish.
episode. Yeah,
Okay.
I can
I
do
practice
Just
my
natural dig through
underwater
the sand.
maneuvers. There's good resistance.
Okay.
And just
Yep.
this is so much easier than last time.
Except
is.
the fact that you can't get out of the water and breathe. You can only breathe
Yeah, but-
inside the water.
Yeah, but at least this time I'm probably not gonna die.
True. Can I get a perception, please?
Da-da. Ten.
That's a really poor roll.
Yeah.
Can I get a perception roll from Mr. Bitey then?
Yes.
'29's a better roll. As Mr. Bitey. Who's that?
What?
Sees a creature, and I'm pretty sure I've got a handout, swimming out of the sea cave towards the group. Let's have a look at the creature.
Not like
It's
this.
got a nice, it's got a nice little interesting look. It's like a seal,
Evil
but a
seal. Yeah.
demonic.
A
Yeah.
demonic seal.
Yeah, it's kind of a different one. And so Minima, yes, pretty much all the encounters have been very interesting because it's been goblin on goblin killing. Like the entire start of this is all about goblins, so it's been very much different. Yeah. So we have initiative, please.
No.
Yes.
I mean, since we've leveled
Oh,
up.
I forgot to click myself. Hang on.
Please make sure they click.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, you have leveled up, so you can gain that level of hit points back.
Okay.
Your 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s and...
Nice.
Oh, there it is. I'm more concerned about spells. Because I used all of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to use my 3rd level spell to cast the Aboleth's Lungs.
Ah. So there's
I
your
just
powerful...
used all my spells.
I'll get... where am I? Flibs. Come on. Open up the sheet. Although I will say Flibs has certainly got no hit points.
No.
Like, really no hit points.
You know, he's gonna be so upset that the one time, like, he's probably like first in initiative is when he's not here.
Yeah. It happens. And not just that, but also pretty much can't act. Why didn't that go? It didn't. Let's do it again and reset it. Okay, so Flips is on 23. And what do you want Flips to do?
Does he have any spells left?
He's got 5 health left.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Does he have any spells left?
He's got
Oh,
a
he
wand
has
of
a
magic
wand
missile.
of magic. Yeah,
So that one?
I mean, I suppose he could use that.
Okay, start Wand of Magic Missile. As the Wand of Magic Missile flies through the water and hits, doing 7 points?
I don't
I think it's
know
supposed to be
how
the second one, it's not the first.
Was it supposed to roll like 2d4?
First one's at 1d4, the second one's got 2d4. I think it's 2d4. Because the third level. So 7 points of force. As it flies through the water. And opening combat. Okay, next we have Red. What would you like to do, Red?
Is it above or below the water?
Below the water. This is below the water. You cannot breathe above the water.
Okay. There's not much we can do underwater, is there? Like, what are we allowed to do underwater?
You can fight, but things might be
Like, do we have
difficult.
problems with our weapons or anything like that?
Well, I think I tried looking for combat underwater and couldn't find it. So you could always go for for 5th edition version, which you kind of know, which is of course, page not found, which is essentially pointy weapons only underwater. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulties.
Okay. And for the level up, did we get this, like the spell slots that we received?
Anything new you've got?
Anything new? Okay.
And if you don't have anything you've already spent. Just typing in Pathfinder Underwater Combat just to check. Okay, so Reg, you have your bull strength. You're boosting yourself up. Reg, what would you like to do?
Oh, and I'll move,
Good move.
to there.
Can I even sing underwater?
No.
Darn it.
I know, I've taken away your only option. Oh no.
Yeah. Very rude. I
Whales and
mean,
dolphins sing through humming, though. You're gonna hum. I don't know if that would still work.
Who's this? I mean, not that one. With flare.
Okay, so land-based creatures can have considerable difficulty when fighting underwater. Water affects the creature's attack rolls, damage, movement, and in some cases, the creature's opponents might get a bonus on attacks. The effects are summarized on table blah blah blah. So, if you've got a swim speed, none of you do. They do, so yeah. So slashing is -2 to hit and half damage. Wait, no. Slashing is -2 to attack and -2 to and half damage, and yeah.
Piercing's okay.
Piercing is normal. Movement is
Okay.
normal. Sorry, movement is with a successful swimmer check. You get half. Without a successful swim check, you get quarter.
So would my short bow work underwater?
No.
Damn.
I'm just gonna say no.
Damn.
Boo.
Boo. Then I guess.
Oh, and
I.
Trent, you're this close for being one-on-one for this one a couple of levels ago.
Oh, yeah.
You're by yourself in that cave.
Yeah.
Trying to. Would that even work? Just.
Okay, well, you can work on it. We're the same initiative, so I'm gonna have a go. So while you're doing that, I'll have a go. As he moves in, and I know you're doing flare. You got it?
So
Yeah.
fortitude save.
Yeah.
What save? There we go.
Oh.
Failed.
Yeah.
Burst
I think
of
it's
light.
-1s to hit.
Oh no,
It's
minus
dazzled.
ones. But I'll remember. For how long? One round?
Yep.
Okay. So this attack. Oh, that's nasty. So 24. Is that an attack?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's with the -1. 5 points plus bleeding.
So how does the bleeding work?
You'll see.
I don't like this.
So bleed is -1 per round, I believe. I'll just make sure there. The creature with this ability causes wounds that at the start of the effective creature's turn, they continue to bleed. So yeah, they get creature causes wound, the continue to bleed. Additional wounds at each creature's turn, bleeding. The damage is determined by the creature's. Okay, so there's a somewhere I've got here of how much that bleed is. I think it should be just a +1 anyway. Okay, cool, done. So yeah, I think it's going to be -1 at the start of your turns. Okay. Screech, you've done that. You've done that. Let's go to Jank.
Jank is going to cast a spell. Monster summon. Oh, sorry. Summon Nature's Ally 3. He's going to summon a crocodile.
Well, these are big guys.
And he'll send Bitey up to do what he can do. Get him, Bitey. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time? Didn't get him?
No. Although he only moved 5 feet, can he attack
Yes.
again? He
Yes.
can, eh? That's right. Ooh. Good try.
Not good enough. No, not good enough. Not in this case. I'll also give you full permissions for the crocodile over here.
And with an augment summoning, I believe you add 4 to its strength and con.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Cool.
So just leave it as in add extra health and extra, yeah.
Plus 2 to hit. It'll be plus 3 damage.
Yeah. Cool. So no,
Okay.
the summoning comes in next round to act?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's in the motion. Jabba Snatch.
I have to see what my spells don't require verbal. Because I can't.
Oh.
You know, it doesn't require verbal, though. Channeling.
I imagine if we can breathe water, then we can speak underwater.
But
But
Screech can't sing.
but that's more like the sing is more the hearing everyone out underwater.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's the effect. Is the person has to be within hearing range of the singing for the effect. Because the effect is more of a audible thing. It's a sonic bonus.
Okay.
Anyway,
I shall.
but if you want to get into like certain creatures can make noise underwater.
Is there a. Where does it say?
Like a roar.
Yeah, I would say that if Ursime was to, well, I would vote that if Ursime was to roleplay whale song, then she should be able to do. I'm just saying, there's an opportunity that may not come up again.
It's true. Whale song or dolphin? What do you think?
Or dolphin noise. Yeah, dolphin chatter would be fine too, I think.
Whale song.
I think we would all appreciate either of those.
Yeah, we as the GM, I would allow it because I think it's funny.
I figured you might.
But again, but because this is live, this is a show, you don't have to. So don't feel pressured.
But we encourage you to.
And remember, it wasn't me; it was Trent. Totally Trent. It's on you.
Speaking of dolphins, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to summon a dolphin.
Okay, we've done dolphins before, so that's when I can just jump quickly, pull across, and drop the dolphin in.
I now no longer have any spell slots.
Okay,
Yep.
there's not many
Me
left
too.
in this party. Because this is
So
the
Jabba
same-
Snatch is going to ride this dolphin and use the dolphin as a weapon by the dolphin doing what Jabba tells it to do.
Oh boy. That's so this party though. Okay, so you should have access to the Dolphins character sheet now. Wow.
Yeah, it appears on my next round.
Again, next
on
round.
next
Yeah.
round.
So we have Flibs, the only person that's actually done damage, doing the same thing again.
Magic missile.
Yeah, we are totally going to use that that Wonder Magic missiles out.
Mm-hmm.
Worth it.
Let's get the actual chat come up so I can see the dice because I can't see it at the moment. There we go. 8 points of force. Oh, it's actually doing damage. Okay. So, Red, what are you up to? You've buffed yourself? You're curing light wounds on it? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't give it to anyone else, but I can give it to myself.
Aw.
I'm betting that might stop the bleeding too.
Yes, it does. But the bleed starts at the start of your round, so
Okay, yeah. So
minus
I'll
one
take
of
the
that.
one from that. Yeah. Yeah. Done.
It's one of those annoyances where it's like, oh, I'm about to do this something. Oh wait, no, I just passed out because I bled to death. Like, that's one of the annoyances at the start of the round. But yes, so you healed yourself, no more bleeding. It's go because it's going to go in front of Screech. And like, as I said, some creatures have audible abilities underwater. And this just happens to be one of them. And it roars. Can I have a Rule 13 to negate the fear effect you're about to suffer?
Sure.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
Especially for those that are doing spells over time.
Well, that's a fail.
Oh!
Oh gosh.
Oh! Really? Everybody? Okay, let's see, Will. The Flibs.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Flib's the hero when Rayward's not here. Oh well. So let's see. We've got D4 round panic. Whether or not the save is successful, the creatures in the area are immune to that again. Yeah. Okay, so D4. We'll keep that on the GM layer. There we go. So Flibs and Jabbersnatch are not scared. The two people with the lowest health.
The crocodile and the dolphin should be making saves as well.
They're not
Oh,
here. The
Oh,
crocodile
they haven't
not-
arrived yet.
The
Oh,
crocodile's
yeah.
not here yet.
Oh, does that
And-
miss with my spell?
Can I get a concentration, please?
Okay. Concentration, so that's just
Yep.
yeah. That's about right. Did you see that? It was a 4, if you can't see it.
No, I didn't see it, but okay, 4.
We should play a game where rolling low is better.
Daco?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go back in time.
What do you reckon, Trent? Want to bring back the Thaco?
What's that?
You want to bring back the Thaco?
No.
Yeah, okay. So if you fail, the crocodile is not going to be there. Because it's disrupted your spells.
I wanted to summon the crocodile.
Yeah, I know. Screech. You're panicked.
Well, I'm panicked.
Yeah, you have to just run away. So, yeah, at full speed.
Just start swimming away.
Can I get a swim check, please?
Oh dear. I'm not good at those. As we learned last time.
Oh, we all gonna drown? Is this how we all go? Is this
Well,
how
no,
we
you
die?
can't drown because you're breathing underwater.
Oh, yeah.
Your swim check, which is good, allows you to go extra movement.
Somehow
So
we surface.
your swim check allows for half movement instead of quarter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is totally a doggy paddle or goblin paddle. Because dogs are evil. Jank, same thing, please.
Yes.
Did Mr. Bitey fail as well?
Yes, he did.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A -1.
Oh dear.
And there's an roll of a 4.
Am I just going in a circle? Is that,
Like,
is that
you
what's
can-
happening?
You've got a
The current
quarter.
is taking you away.
Yeah.
You've got a quarter
in a
movement
rip.
for your running away.
What's that? Like, there.
10.
About
5
there.
foot 10, yeah. And Mr. Bitey as well.
Oh, yes. Swim. He doesn't have a list of things to click, so I'll roll a d20.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. That's why I think we might need to just put him into an actual problem sheet.
Whoops. So it's
Yep, that's good enough. He gets half movement for his raccoon swimming.
about 10 feet, I'm guessing.
Something along
2
the line.
squares. Yeah.
Maybe 15.
3 squares. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not 20 feet.
Yeah. And we're moving down the list. Jabbersnatch. You hear everyone who's like swimming around you are panicked.
Your dolphin
I feel
will be
like
able
a
to
bunch of
take actions
splashing.
this round.
Yeah. And you and your dolphin arrives with you.
Right. I shall hop on top of my dolphin, grabbing its fin. I command it to attack the hostile monstrosity that's attacking us.
I love how your descriptions are really vague, but I think the dolphin will be smart enough to know not red.
Are we the monsters?
You have been. So I'll move that there, and I'll move you onto the dolphin. Oops, that was inside the dolphin. Let's go there.
Well, it does say if you can communicate with this creature, and I technically don't, so my commands are pretty vague because I
Yeah.
can't communicate with this
Yeah.
creature.
And you can't even point out attack that because you don't know where that is.
Nope, just attack whatever's attacking us.
Yeah.
Defend yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So you should have the ability to command the sheet and click on things.
I just see Biowin info.
Okay, I'll do it then. We have slam attack, D4 plus 1 bludgeoning. Damn, it's fast too. 80 feet. It hits. The magical dolphin hits and doing 4 points of damage.
Nice.
Are you doing anything? Because your spell's
Well, if
done.
we're close enough to it, now
Yeah.
I can punch it with my pierced gauntlet, my spiked gauntlets, which do piercing.
Which don't give you any minuses. Just the fact that you're blind.
I punch it.
You don't punch it.
I punch the water, but no, probably I do punch it, but my punch is so weak I just feel blubber.
Yep.
It just squishes it.
And Jabbersnatch. We then have our, again, magic missile. And going to move back a little bit. Because everyone else is. So not Jabbersnatch, Flips. What am I talking about?
Run with us, Flips. Swim with us.
So magic missile. Minus it down. We're totally going to run this out. 6 points of force. There we go. Red. The last to swim away. You're muted though.
I will make my swim roll here.
You probably have the best swim roll actually.
I have a -6 to my roll because of my armor.
Okay, you don't then.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So you can move.
Well, no. This includes the -6.
Yeah.
The
okay.
9 is including the -6.
I was looking for
Otherwise,
a
I would
10.
have a huge bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for a 10.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So quarter movement, and he's like, "Run away! Flee for your lives!"
How inspiring leader.
Already there.
Coward, it's so soft. How are you not fighting this? Feel how squishy it is.
As you're punching the dolphin. Oh no, you're probably punching kelp or something like this floating past. Yeah, okay. Bunyip. We have there's something else about here. Bonus rage ability, damn. Because you healed yourself so much, I can't actually use this one, which is what I wanted to use. Because you healed yourself straight away. So we'll just do the normal bite. This is on the dolphin. I believe that's a hit on the dolphin. So the dolphin's now hurt and going to be bleeding. I will point out that that would have dropped Jabber Snatch. Just as a heads up, guys. Switch.
Well, if I'm still panicked, then I'll keep running.
Yep,
Fleeing.
there is a timer.
Yeah, come on, thingy.
But 2d4 is pretty good timer.
15.
15 foot of movement. And a fly on the
Here!
giant flies are attacking. Same thing for Jank.
Yes.
Swim check.
I'll roll,
We're just looking for a 10.
That'll be a 10 for Bitey. He's
Yep.
strong. And swim. Here's Jenks roll. Oof. But it was better than -1.
Yeah. Again, so quarter or 15. Jabber Snatch and Mr. Dolphin. Ensign
Punching
Buddy.
with the dolphin again. Nope.
I'll do the dolphin's attack.
Because Jabba Snatch is not a coward, and Jabba Snatch is on a. Basically, they just killed a false god, and they wholly believe that they are the chosen of Babakugan and are going to win this fight, even with 4 hit points.
And you both missed.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys, we got this.
Good luck!
I think Flips has got
Is it-
this more than anyone.
As he swims away.
As everyone swims away.
Nice.
Yeah. Flips has done pretty much all the damage. Apart from 4.
Well done,
And Flips
Flips.
has killed the bunyip by himself.
Jabba Snatch, unable to tell the difference because Magic Missile is a visual beam of light and like force damage or something. Wholly believes Jabba Snatch and the dolphin killed this thing, and it's just like, yes, I smell the blood.
You punched it to death.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yep. Although you're still swimming away for a little bit. 3 more rounds, I believe. 4 more
Wow.
rounds, I think. As
We
and
might
then
be less scared if we notice that it's dead.
It's down to water. You're swimming away. You're not looking back, and
Oh, I'm looking back.
If it wasn't a magical effect, then maybe, but yeah. But anyway, you come to your senses a little bit later, and you start swimming back, and you start realizing everything's okay, and like, wow, that was what was that thing?
The water's turned yellow. What's happened?
That's just my urine. It's strong.
Very musky.
That's right.
That's all the barbiturates.
Yeah. Why are the
Thankful it's
fish
yellow
angry
today.
I'll remove the ensign bitey, the dolphin, because it will dissipate.
Yeah, after we've killed the beast, I command my dolphin companion to eat as much of it as it can out of this creature.
And then it disappears.
As I also dig into it. I don't know if it does it, but that's what Jabbersnatch told it to do, and is what Jabbersnatch is doing.
Wow. Sashimi? No?
Is it?
I don't know if seals count as sashimi because
Yeah, they're
seals are red
mammals.
meat. I don't know.
I don't know. But that's what you do. You eat the raw the raw bunyip. It's also kind of shark too, yeah. Like seal and shark.
I absorb
combined.
its power.
Oh boy. So what are you going to do? You've still got like maybe 20 minutes longer even for swimming. What is the plan?
Learn to swim.
To continue to eat
practice.
until somebody pulls me off of this creature. Because I
don't.
cannot figure out my way through the water to get to shore.
I mean, it did come out of a lair.
Should we check it out?
That's the one with the current.
Nah. Rats.
Intelligence check from anyone? Or insight check?
Sure.
Oh, Jank's a dummy.
Well, if there's a current coming out, pushing you out, wouldn't there be a current going in somewhere else then?
Somewhere. Probably on the other side of the island, right?
So you go
Well,
Yeah.
how much longer do we have with the water breathing?
about 25 minutes, Eve.
All right, sure, why not? We'll go around.
Yep. Okay. So you move yourself around the promontory. Promontory?
Follow me, I got a neat ride.
There we go, all the way around. Whee! Let's see. You feel a current being pushed into this direction.
All right, we'll ride the current.
You get essentially pushed all the way in to this the area, into the sea cave, and in the sea cave, you can see that there's mounds of bones everywhere. There's mounds of bits and pieces. The current's still there. It's manageable when coming from this way, and you can kind of get yourself to the ledge and then start searching them.
All right, start searching.
All right.
Now I've got to find the actual okay, what's the lair's name? It's number this, and then
Just moving hands around with the water, trying to feel for things.
yep.
I need your help too.
And I won't roll because I'm supervising, of course.
Of course, yes, of course.
Search! Search harder!
Is this? Oh, it's in the 20s, that's right. There we go. 27. So there's a glittering grotto sparkles here. The walls dripping with moisture, and alive with sea urchins and anemones and other tidal life. The cave of the roof rises to a natural dome, 10 foot above the water. There's a 5 foot wide chimney, which through a shaft of light comes through. Swimming around and searching, we have a 13, 9, and 25. I'll also do one for Flibs. Because, rogue. Um,
Nice.
well, that's actually pretty good. So 2 in the 20s, 1 13. So underneath the bones, there is. Where do we go with this? One of the following. One. Okay. Okay, so Corporal Barty finds what looks to be a rusted knife, and really excited. He's got it in his mouth. He swims up and he's like really excited and happy that he's found it. And to you, it looks like a rusted knife, but then he puts it down onto the little ledge there, and then nudges it over. And on the other side, it has a massive emerald on it. On the other side of the knife.
Well done, Corporal.
And you think it's not emerald, but a violet garnet. And you think it's the garnet would be worth maybe 500 gold.
Excellent find.
You better hide it, Red, before you know who sees it.
Hide what?
As you're saying that, as you're saying, hide what? Screech swims up with a bundle of arrows, and as the arrows hits the air of the cave, they just start disintegrating in her hands. And she's left with only one. Oh, sorry, no, she's left with only 3. 3 arrows from the quiver.
And are the 3 in suspiciously good condition?
Well, they didn't deteriorate, but they're still covered with mud and other bits and pieces and algae and whatnot from the water.
Private Jenk, take a bite of these.
All right.
Do they taste horrible?
As
They
Jank
taste magical.
starts licking the mud and the grime and algae from the years of being under the water, it tastes really disgusting, but also magical.
Gotta get your vitamins.
Yep. And Flibs comes up in the water, and although there's a lot of bones in the water, Flibs is really excited. And he holds up a bone that he says, "This is mine, and only mine," and etc. etc. So yeah, he's found. It looks like, to everyone else, it just looks like a bone, but it's actually a wand.
It doesn't look like a bone to me, but does it taste like a bone as I try to take a bite at it?
Are you detecting magic, or are you just trying to take a bite out of it, being a cannibal?
I just wanted to see if it tasted like bone because they keep saying it looks like a bone.
It does
Like,
taste
I
like
want it.
bone.
Just chewing on it.
And he's going to try to wrestle it out of your mouth.
Okay.
I go get Jabba snatch another bone.
Okay, so
Here you go, Jabba.
I look to one and then look the other. I'm like, yeah. What would be the thing for the grapple thing?
Well, normally it'd be one thing, but suddenly energy sprouts from the bone from inside your mouth, and suddenly there's this wash of energy that it's going to be a 50-50 on who it actually lands on, because so we'll have high for Jabba Snatch. Finally, they've got D100 in the rolls. Okay, it's not Jabba Snatch, it's a 2, is what the roll was. So this energy starts wrapping around, so everyone else can see it. Jabba Snatch can't. Starts wrapping itself around Flibs, and like it feels protective around him. And so normally it'd be a certain amount for the grapple check. Now it's going to be a little bit harder for the grapple check. Now he's got magical protection.
But he's holding the wrong end of the stick.
Yes, but you're not holding it. You've got it in your mouth.
I do.
Some would argue the goblin's mouth is the strongest muscle in the body, but
With so many teeth.
yeah. So if you want to do a grapple check, it will be
CMB.
CMB.
Your CMB.
Yeah.
CMB.
And Red is getting
-4.
involved. 16 from Red.
So what's his CM defense? CM defense is actually past, so it's actually higher than it would be. Normally it would fail. So normally you would have won, but now he's got the magical effect. You have failed because of the magical effect.
I don't think armor actually helps on CMD.
Not even magical?
I don't think so. Because it's just like a strength based thing. It's not an attack or defense at all. It's like an entirely separate thing.
Bonus
So do
to
we just do
against touch
contested
attacks?
CMB?
Does do against touch attacks though.
It's not an attack though. CMD and CMB, grapples, trips, all that stuff. They're not attacks.
Okay.
They're combat maneuvers.
Are you trying to snag it?
Yep, I'm taking it from both of them.
I assume he just
You
rips
can
it.
have this back
He's just lifting Jabba
when I
Snatch.
say so, and you've been behaving properly.
Shaking Jabba
It gets
Snatch.
mixed in with the candles.
So as you pick it up, you've got Jabba Snatch still biting on the end and gnawing on it and gnawing.
Yeah,
gnawing,
and I stick the other bone in their
shaking.
mouth
Feet-
until there's a connection.
feet dangling off the ground, and you have Flibs holding on the other end, feet dangling off the ground. So it's mine,
Oh, God.
and a little bit of shaking, and they both fall into the water.
Yeah, and then it goes in with all the candles.
And then Jabba Snatch, realizing that there's still a bone in their mouth, goes, "Yes, it's mine." I run away.
Yeah,
All four just run away.
God.
Oh boy, this party is weird.
Maybe.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
totally. So that was only 5 minutes of searching. That was only 5 minutes of searching. If you'd like to do another search, you can.
keep searching.
All right.
Fine.
You're done searching when I say you're done searching.
Wow, 20 is good.
Barney, you better help.
That one.
Yep.
I'm just looking at my new rig. I'm distracted.
Okay, so what have we got here? Yeah. That's done. Okay, so Jank goes down and pulls up a deep green spinel worth 100 gold. And I don't know what a spinel is, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
What's a spinel?
I think it's a
Google?
semi-precious stone.
Ah. I found a spinel.
Spinel was a character in the most recent Steven Universe movie.
It's a pink gemstone, pink diamond-like gemstone. And when I say pink, I mean big fluorescent, like pink, like over the top pink. Okay, we have Corporal Barty pulls up what looks to be a small belt pouch, and as he's pulling up, you see some bones float off, as he seems to have pulled it from the body itself, and there's a belt attached that he's pulling from there. And when you open the belt pouch, there's 12 gold worth inside. Screech comes up with a mass of all these belt pouches in her little greedy hands, like things she's got them everything, and she starts opening them. And there's mollusks in one, there's shells in the other, there's every one of them is just filled with nothing, or filled with mud, or filled with sea creatures that have now found a new home.
Ooh, crabs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Recruit Jank, you hang on to that pink rock and the gold that Corporal Bitey found.
Yeah, okay.
And
He'll hide it away.
by about this time, you spent about 10 minutes now searching. You're not really sure how much time you've got left, but you think it may be about time to actually start leaving, just in case.
Okay.
That's the swing's
We'll let the current. Actually, I guess we'll just let the current push us out.
Yep. Current easily just pushes you out, makes it easy. You actually have to go below the water to get out, and you then get flushed out to the other side again, near the bridge.
Yay.
Yay! And shortly afterwards, you're able to breathe again. Which is again, yay!
We'll climb the bridge.
I don't know if a rope was left. Oh no, that's right. The bridge on this side was actually
because I have a climb speed.
no, that's right. The rope.
Somebody give me a rope.
The bridge was cut
there's
from the other side, and it's now dangling up, so it's almost a ladder from this side.
Yeah.
There's a beach right here.
Yes, but the bridge itself from this side is actually hanging down, and it's a ladder
Oh.
Yeah.
for you to climb up.
So we'll climb up the bridge.
On
I
the other
climb
side,
up
there's
next
a
to
rope.
them with my climb speed, just scurrying up the wall. It's taking you guys so long,
And you just
but it's always a weird zigzag because I can't figure out where up is.
and you,
It's does this feel like I'm going down? No. Does this
every
feel like I'm going
now
down?
and then you're upside down and just
Yeah.
climbing downwards instead of upwards, and
Yeah. Once in a while, Red reaches out, grabs Jabba, turns. Jabba starts climbing upwards again.
So, without going through all the maze, which you've pretty much done, as in the only things you haven't been in the maze were now those that are now in the throne room. So, you've pretty much done this area and cleared this area. There's no other secrets, and you spend your time getting back to town.
All right.
Also, where's the Barkhurst?
The
I would
head.
be able to hear it.
So you just took the head?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure if you were still trying to take the whole body, because that couldn't have been moved around.
No,
like...
it was too big.
Javasnats tried. It didn't work.
Yeah.
They gave up.
The head is going on a pike.
Yeah. And somewhere at some point, that big helmet is going to be put on a dead bugger to pretend it's got a head. And by someone that can pick that thing up, which is not going to be easy. So you head on back to town, and we'll have our break here because it's about the right time anyway. And we'll see where we end up, because we're moving out of the, as I said, moving out of Burnt Offerings and into the second chapter of the Rise of the Rune Lords, our version, Rise of the Goblin Lords, with goblins only.
Yeah.
So stick around. We'll put some more goblin music on the background. Thanks to, again, for Syrinscape for having an amazing product. They're not a sponsor, but again, if they're watching, please sponsor us. Don't have to even pay, just like a free subscription. That'd be great. Thanks. Really annoyed that I didn't get to actually meet you guys down in Melbourne for PAX. So we'll be back shortly. Have some fun. Thank you for coming in, and we'll see you again really soon. So stick around. Hi, we're back. And just sorry for the delay, and just thought we'd get back in before Screech's marriage plans get finalised. And yeah, things go badly. So let's get back into the game. So after being away from the town of Sandpoint for a number of days, let's get there. There we go. There we go. We'll go back to the festival morning. There we go. So after being away from the town of Sandpoint for quite a number of days, because you actually had quite a few rests over that times because of missing health and spells and lots of danger and almost deaths a few times as well. So you've been away for a few days. The town of Sandpoint is still the sleepy human town, two-legged town, and it's the same. There's no big difference. You don't notice anything. When you return to town, though, if you stop into the guardhouse, they hear your stories and about what everything's going on, about the goblin god, about the woman. They're a bit
Not
surprised.
just stories. Jabbersnatch is parading the head of the false god and is in Goblin is just saying, "Worship Demoku God. This is our false god. Do not believe its false lies." But it's in Goblin, so no one understands.
That's about normal. Yeah, sure. It's totally normal for Jabbersnatch. Yep. So you end up, I'm assuming, telling the story. Most likely Red telling the story in great detail about all the focus on combat and all the focus on discipline and doing these tactics and whatnot, and the foes doing this and blah blah blah. So all the information's passed across. The sheriff, I'll just make sure I've got his name right. Sheriff Hemlock, I believe it is. Thanks you for your service, and thanks you for dealing with dealing with the invasion and cutting the head off as its source, referring to Jabbersnatch and the parade. And he I think there was a reward of money.
And medals.
And medals. That's right, and medals.
Crowns?
But like, you have a crown.
It doesn't fit anymore.
Then maybe you should get a goblin-sized crown.
Well, that's your guys' job, to commission me a crown.
We have money. We buy you a crown. We'll get it made. Special.
Yeah. Yeah. This group's I can just hear it. Yeah, I can just hear.
Reach your rage. Reach your rage.
But there's no shiny.
Screech goes into a rage. I want the shiny.
I want my crown. I want all the crowns. I deserve all the crowns.
Screech, I am worthy. I am important. I matter.
Yeah.
I'm better than everyone here.
Jane hides behind Bitey.
As a matter of fact, not only should I have a crown, you guys should elect me your queen. To go with the crown.
Scarier than red.
Sheriff Bellaw says, I don't think we get to elect queens. I don't think it works that way. But
What is elect?
I heard another bard use it, but the point is, you make me your queen.
Never heard of elect before.
some of the more civilized nations, they elect officials to represent them in matters of trade or in matters of commerce, or represent, or even nobility. So
I like
you
how
each
she just called herself uncivilized.
I think I understand this elect. I elect for you to be quiet.
Okay.
I have elected.
Elected who is the question?
Elected for your silence.
Elected the sheriff, or elected?
I'm using it
Screech?
correctly.
But the sheriff thanks you for your service and thanks you for protecting the town in this hour.
Again.
If they attacked the city, if they attacked the town, then things could have been much worse. If as you say that the numbers were going to be even greater the next time. I believe. Well, we all thought that that woman was dead and that she burned in the fires in the chapel, and we did not know that she survived. And with everything going on, it sounds like she may have been even the cause of that fire in the chapel.
Well,
all
she's
those years
dead
ago.
now.
So, and do you even know what that monster's head is? What connection that is to do with all this?
They thought it some kind of reverent creature, like a god.
A goblin god.
Maybe that was in control of her, or was she in control of
Yeah,
it?
she seemed to have some kind of worship of it or something.
She had a worship of it, not the goblins.
Who cares?
Well,
They're all dead now.
so all the goblins in that area are dead.
Yeah.
The ones that are left, I assigned a new leader who is going to have them never attack Sandpoint again.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course I'm sure.
Okay. Well, if they do attack, then I'm sure we can always rely on our new heroes of Sandpoint.
Jabba in the background. False god! False god! False god!
God, you're lucky he doesn't speak Goblin. Yeah, just bad. He says, "Well, I take the payments that we've had, and we'll have the medals made up for you as well. Of course, I can't remember if you did arrange medals or not.
No, I'm just suggesting that would be a good idea.
But it does really totally sound like something you would have arranged to have medals as payment.
I have a
think you
sash
mentioned
already, but I don't have a medal yet.
True.
Just really sounds
And
like
now
something you
the
would do.
medal can go on the sash.
Yeah. Yep.
When's the bronze statue coming?
A gold statue?
It gold gets stolen by people like you.
Steal your own statue.
Yeah. You
So
would.
how much was the
She
how much
would.
was the reward, by the
I think
way?
it was 500 gold
All right, each
Um,
or total?
total.
Okay, so 100 each.
It should be in your
Alright.
notebooks. This is just me guessing.
I'll double check.
Yeah, double check the
And
journal.
I'll let the sheriff know about Flibs and say he needs honored guest of the city sash as well. He's with us now.
Flips is looking around a bit nervous because, like, you are in the guardhouse where there's prisons, and he looks like a little like.
He's
You really sure we should be in here?
Relax,
especially-
these are our humans.
Especially when, like, just even entering the town, it's like, guys, that's human place. Like, you like. It is
Jabba
weird.
Snatch has assured him.
We're very
"Don't worry,
important there.
Jink has tamed the humans. They are our
I know their
flock now.
They're
They all
mouse?
think we're fantastic there. Except for the guy who owns the stables.
Yes, the demon house.
Yeah, we'll take care of him.
Oh yeah, and there's a
You
book place
wait.
we're gonna burn down.
Just you wait.
We already took down a false god. What's a demon to us now?
Yeah.
We've already killed a few of those demons anyways.
Yes.
We
We're
are so
really good
powerful.
at setting fires now.
Yes.
Yep.
So much burning to be done.
Those stables were all wooden with hay.
So
Yeah. And Flibbs has such an allergy problem.
Accidents happen.
fire.
Yes.
So things quieten down, and like you think things get kind of back to normal where you're not doing anything. You're eating and drinking eating from the trash in the tavern every morning and afternoon. There's lots of people that still come to the tavern. Amikio doesn't really turn up as much, although she does call in from time to time. One of the staff members seems to be running things a bit more often now that she seems to be dealing with family matters now that, well, she has no family. So what would each of your characters be doing over, say, the course of a week?
Has built a shrine to Baba Gugan.
On the roof?
Oh yeah. Red put the head on the pike. Jabsnatch took the pike and the head and puts it on top of the tavern. It is now a tribute to Baba Gugan, and this tavern is his temple.
Remember, there's a dragon.
Yeah.
On the
Yep.
You can put the head in the dragon's mouth.
Yeah. With the pike, I don't know. I put it somewhere in there, wherever it fits, and it doesn't fall off. Like shove the pike into the dragon's nose, so the head's like there.
Okay.
I like it.
So what other things are people looking to do? You've got about a week of just like things getting back to normal-ish, as normal things can be with a group of goblins living in a town that hates goblins.
I'm going
Was
to
there a
go
way that I can
shopping,
consecrate the ground?
I believe.
I don't know about consecrating the ground because you're consecrating the roof of a place, and Mikio
It's a
may not
spell
like
I
it.
have.
Oh God, no! God no! Trent, you were going to go shopping. What were you looking for with your shoppings?
I'm going to look at some prices before I decide.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do have apparently 400 GP worth of gems.
Yeah, that might be a place you need to offload somehow.
Also, I need to try to find the rich people.
Oh boy. There's also
So the
magical
tavern
items
is
in the
now
cupboard.
protected against undead.
This is good.
So if the consecrated area contains an altar, shrine, or other permanent fixture dedicated to my deity, pantheon, or aligned higher power, the modifier given above is doubled. Sweet.
So what is your shrine or your permanent fixture? Because I'm saying this is the roof of the tavern. So that's where you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
What is the permanent fixture?
It's the pike in the skull. Well, head, which will decompose into a skull inside the mouth of the dragon.
That's not really a permanent fixture. It's like
Oh,
that's kind of a flimsy for permanent.
And well, it's the best a goblin can do.
As I said, there is a bronze dragon, like a rusting dragon. Would you like that as the permanent fixture, as the focus for Demogorgon?
Sure. The dragon is now
Or Baba
Demogorgon,
Or Baba
Baba
Gugan?
Gugan.
Yes.
and the skull inside of it is its enemies.
Okay.
We'll make that. Yeah. Yep.
Because I think that kind of fits, because that's like the whole roof is this dragon. So And it makes a bit more
But to
sense.
consecrate the dragon, I'm like putting things on top of this like statue of a dragon to make it look like Demogorgon. So like there's like a tiny second head protruding off of it that I've glued there with something. And then there are like some tentacles coming off of its arms, which are made like twigs or something.
Don't forget you got the harpy wings.
I do have those. I put the Harvey wings on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm asking for a lot of glue from Red. I need more glue. At one point, I get stuck to it.
So I want to see if I can sell my half plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to buy a breastplate.
Okay. So there is Armory. Let's see. There's a tanner or there's an armory in town. There's also a smithy.
Well, I imagine the armory is what I want.
Yep. Just flicking through there. Okay. So number 12 on your map is the Savers Armory. So not too far from the church, not too far from the guardhouse and the council buildings as well, is Savers Armory. The northeast of this building bears a few scars from the Sandpoint fire, but fortunately for the owners, Sava Bevenicki. Wow, that's Bevenicki. That the building escaped significant damage. Sava's shop sells all manner of weapons and armor, including several masterwork and exotic weapons like spiked chain and masterwork shrieking. So yes, they'd easily be able to purchase and trade.
Yeah. Okay. The full price for half plate is 600 gold, and the full price for a breastplate is 200 gold. So I figure that I should be able to trade that easy straight across, I would think.
Yes, but it's going to have to be custom made, so it's going to take probably about a week.
Okay. And then I'm going to go to this is an armory. I want to purchase a composite longbow.
Yes, they do have.
And I want it to be a strength bow, so like a +1 strength bow.
So they don't really have bows. More, they've got crossbows.
No, I don't want a crossbow. I got a crossbow. Who's got bows?
I believe the smithy has bows.
All right. So then I head to the smithy.
Okay, that will be number 15 on your map, near Undercliff.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Pretty close.
Where am I? So as you get to the to Red Dog Smithy, and you're about to open the door, and you see the sign above the door, and it has a dog painted red with a hammer over an anvil. And as you walk up to the door,
that's just in bad taste.
As you walk up to the door, you hear coming from inside.
I put my hand on my short sword and my other hand on my bomb collection. And I knock on the door. Actually, is it open? I'll open the door.
Open the door. As you open the door, right on either side of the door, right inside the door, is a large, massive hound.
Is it chained up?
No. And it looks at you and just starts barking aggressively.
Come here, doggy.
As if a challenge, like, you come one more step and we're going to fight.
And I step
Roll
forward.
As you step forward, it lunges after you. Do you want to joke?
You saw it. It jumped at me.
Yeah.
You saw the initiative counter too.
It came at me. Nothing I could do.
Oh,
Nothing
dear.
you can do, right. So we'll use the stats of a wolf.
Oh gosh.
Well, I've got dog or I've got wolf, and wolf is a bit more larger than a dog.
Powerful.
Use the stats.
I mean,
of
there
a
was
red
howling in that audio
Yeah,
clip.
yeah,
dragon. Yeah.
Mm.
It's a wolf dog.
Yeah, it's a wolf dog.
Why is it asking me to build an NPC? No, I don't want to build an NPC. Where's the initiative? There. 18. Well done. So initiative for the wolf. I know you won't have your token.
Yeah.
Wow.
20 and 25.
Oh dear.
Both are keen.
So this is red and red. Red dog. So technically, you actually go before it.
Yep. What is around, by the way? Just is it like a lot of flammable stuff?
Around is something seriously wrong with these things. Not flammable stuff. I'll give you a description of the location, which makes things easy. Yeah. Oh, these don't have the box text. So I'm used to.
The specific question is, if I throw a bomb, do I think that I will set fire to this place?
You think that it may ruin your reputation in Sandpoint, and you think that if like high-end stuff has a place to be bought, this may be it.
Okay.
And that may be hard for later.
All right. So on my first round, I drink my mutagen.
Drink your mutagen. And the dog leaps at you, and from around the corner, another one leaps out as well. There's more than one.
Good.
There's actually 3 as another one comes around the corner of the counter. And they don't actually attack, but they come at you and they leap snarling and snapping, but don't actually bite.
Okay.
But they're barking loudly and they're snarling. And then what are you going to do for your
I
turn?
drink my bull strength potion.
There's 2 potions.
Oh, nice.
And they're snapping and snarling, and from the back, you hear a loud man just yelling, "What's going on? What's up? Shut up, you idiots! Get down! It might be a customer. Let them in. Get." And then sees you like, "Oh, that's not a customer. What the hell are you doing here?" As a large human comes out from the vacuum.
Okay. I walk towards him and I take like one of the dog's heads and I push him aside.
Don't you touch my bloody animals! What are you doing? You don't have a right to touch my animals. I don't have a right to slap my animals around. Get out of here.
Red want bow!
I don't care what Red wants. I want you out of my shop.
And I walk up and I like
now.
chest bump him. Want bow!
Get out of here.
You give Red bow now.
No.
Red hero of Sandpoint.
No, you get out of my shop. Get out of my shop. I don't want you here. I don't want your kind here. I don't want you here. My dogs won't want you here either.
Your dogs are cowards.
They're just looking for food.
I got food. Red
Well-
got food right here. You want food? Come get food.
Get out. Get out before I have to call the guard to clean up the mess that's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, I give him a growl.
He growls back. He's not intimidated. He growls back.
Okay. All juiced up.
Oh God.
You are juiced up.
I see red.
I see 3 red dogs and another large man.
Yeah, and my concern about using bombs has since declined.
Oh no. But oh yes.
But you're also juiced up. Would you be able to think that?
What he's mainly thinking is still murder is against the law.
No.
But
And-
doesn't then
and
go
that-
to maiming.
Not self-defense, though.
No, but I tried. I
Trespass.
tried.
Trespass.
I poke my finger in his chest and I say, I'll leave, but you never speak to me like that again.
I will speak to you how I want to speak to you. This is my business. This is my town. You get out of here.
Your town, it's my town.
Oh yes.
And do you turn and walk?
Yeah, I give him a couple seconds in case he wants to strike me.
No, he doesn't.
Oh. And I turn and walk out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you turn and walk out. You hear the dogs growling and barking and whatnot as you turn. And you don't hear anything more. Later, as you're walking to try to, to the next place of business, I'm sure you're going elsewhere.
No, then when I have to leave town at this point, and I go
What?
down to Junk Beach and start wrecking stuff.
Well, as you're going through town to go down to Junk Beach, you come across a few children playing hopscotch, and they're singing a song which goes to hopscotch. Here comes the crazy man, does corvot, mad as a cut snake in a rag and rot. See how his chops go bouncity bounce. How many people has he trounced? 1, 2, 3, 4, and keeps going.
Okay. I faintly am able to comprehend that.
Mhm.
But right now I have no interest in it.
Yeah.
So I'll just think about it when I calm down. And then I go down and I wait for everything to wear off as I beat up Junk Beach.
Meanie. Anyone else? What are the other people doing? You have some time.
Jank will,
Do you tame another human?
Yeah, well, he needs to go back and reestablish his relationship with this human.
Takes time.
So he'll hand this human, he'll hand her some gold coins and a silver necklace which he picked up. And he'll say in Goblin like she could understand, but like he's talking to an animal, you are my human, You're mine. I'll ride you. And he has a piece of rope.
That's almost a
And
love
he-
letter.
And he wants to he's going up. He's doing the up motion. Up. And he'll put on that face that humans like with the sad eyes.
My own little goblin does the same thing. Persuasion check?
Oh no.
Well, you are persuading them to try to... No, sorry, it's animal handling, that's right. That is animal handling. Because that's how we worked it out before. That's 17. Pretty much throwing out all the tricks. All the bits and pieces. The puppy dog eyes, the everything. And eventually... I can't remember the woman's name. She picks you up and gives you a bit of a cuddle, like as if a baby would be cuddled.
Yes.
A
And
human baby.
he'll try and get around onto his back, like a piggyback.
Every time you try to get around behind the back, she pulls you back down into a baby to give like that nursing. Like
This is acceptable for now.
Her name doesn't really matter. I mean, has Jane
I haven't named her yet. Yeah.
You should give her a name. She's yours now. It's time to name her.
Yeah. What do you name humans? Don't they have weird names?
Yeah.
Aren't humans basically like
I
apes?
heard Bob.
Bob.
You could name her Bob.
Yeah. Why
Plenty
not?
of apes in the jungle.
The only one I can think of is Humie, but Bob's good. Bob. You were Bob. And I
Okay, so
point at her chest and Bob.
she covers her chest and like shakes her head and walks off, ashamed. And
I don't think she likes the name.
Oh.
maybe Kate.
No, it's my daughter's name. I can't call her Kate. I'll keep trying, Bob.
Am I right, Trent?
My daughter's name is Katie.
Oh.
No, I thought you were calling the woman Bob because of a reason, but there's an old joke referring back Bob. No? Nobody? Wow.
No.
Wow, go watch Blackadder. Please, go watch Blackadder. All of them. There's at least...
I've watched all the Blackadders, but if we're going to name Blackadder, wouldn't we do like Baldric?
No. Bob and Kate. Like 2 or 3 seasons. The cross-dressing female is always called Bob. But her name's always Kate.
Yes. That's right.
That's the running joke. I know that because I've been using that running joke for years as a performer. So in that time you're going to continue with your training.
Yes. And if it's not too greedy, I was hoping to try and get some armor for Bitey, if that's possible.
It's going to be difficult, but we'll see. We'll have a look at the Tanner and see what the Tanner can do.
I'll need somebody to translate.
Just don't use Red right now. He's got a little bit of a...
Red's on the beach
Literally
beating
cold.
things up.
Yeah.
I say with my
So-
You
I put up
see
a spyglass
and
to my eyes, but I'm looking in the
Red
wrong
is looking
direction.
about 2 feet taller than normal. And
So the
and,
translator either has to be Screech or Flips.
Yeah, I'll grab Screech. Screech is good with humans. Screech.
Okay. So
I need some armor for Bitey. Can you help me? You need to talk to these humans. I don't speak their guttural tongue.
Yeah, sure. It would be helpful if Bitey had armor.
Would you
Yeah.
ever speak with them? Let's speak with animals.
it,
To understand their bestial language.
it all makes sense.
Technically, you
That's
are doing animal
goblin
handling.
logic.
Yeah. I allow it. Kind of, not really. So you head down to the Tannery. Tanneries, generally speaking, are going to be on the outskirts of town, and this is no exception, although still on this side of the bridge. Number 14 is the Tannery. And again, as you go past number 15, you hear the barking and the rowdiness of dogs. As you can see, Red Dog Smith.
Jank will
over the
walk a
door.
bit faster.
Yep.
And when he's a suitable distance away, he'll bark, like, in retaliation. But then walk away really fast.
Yeah. of
Yeah,
course,
we showed those dogs.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sure.
Stupid dogs.
I don't know why these humans have to always have so many of these things.
I know. They
Yeah.
share fleas, I guess.
I guess. I mean, it makes sense.
Back home in the jungle, I saw many of these apes. Eating fleas off each other. Back when I had eyes.
Oh, that makes
It's a
sense.
grooming thing that primates do with one another.
They're
I
using
say,
the dogs.
as an example
As a
of a
monkey
primate.
goblin. Yeah.
So they're using the dogs for food, in a sense, to harvest fleas.
Oh, they must be.
Or they use the
Cunning.
dogs
Cunning.
to get fleas for a mating ritual with their partners.
That could also work.
Yuck.
So, just giving
Humans are
Screech bad
disgusting.
ideas. So, the Tannery is situated at the edge of town, and it is run by Lars Ravanki, a human tanner, male tanner. As you enter the shop, he greets you warmly, and you can see that all he wears, like, there's a mixture of a bit of everything in there. There's not really got armor, but there's saddlery and there's other bits and pieces, and they're all very high quality. And he greets you warmly and says, the Goblin heroes are in town. Oh, welcome in. Well, what can I do for the heroes of Sandpoint? Would you like some belts? What do you wear? What can I do for you?
I'll make soothing noises to this human just to calm him down. He's a bit excited. So, I'll make little cooing noises. I'll get a gold piece out when he calms down.
Oh,
And I'll reward him.
isn't he so cute? Oh, he's such a cutie. Oh, he doesn't shut up.
This human's untamable.
Doesn't shut up. He fusses. He comes over and pats you on the head. He's such a cutie. Oh, are you wanting some clothing? Well, a jacket maybe. I can make you a belt. I can make you you've got a sash, cloak. What would you like?
Great. He keeps grunting. Make him stop.
Hi there.
It talks.
I'll be. Well, yeah, of course I talk. I'm not an idiot.
What about this one?
Oh, he doesn't speak human.
So he is an idiot. Okay.
I actually didn't mean it to come out that way, but yeah.
Jake's probably drooling.
First off, what kind of stuff do you make here?
Everything we make is custom. I am the tanner of the town, so anything leather works, belts, clothing, cloaks, tools, bridles, saddles, I can do it all.
A human saddle.
One thing at a time.
Wouldn't that just be a baby swaddle or something?
Yeah. But you need something to guide them.
Reins.
A front-facing pack. Baby pack.
I mean, I guess. Well, you know how it works in Ratatouille, with the rat guided the person. So would it be like that? I guess. Just on the person. I mean,
the fun one you can point.
The problem is if the person's bald.
Earrings, loops,
Yeah.
reins.
Yeah.
You were saying the idiot comment.
Okay. First off, can you make some armor for our raccoon? Well, for his raccoon.
Raccoons are a little small, aren't they? Why would you want them armored? And then Mr. Bitey lumbers in. The size of a large... No, he's medium-sized now. Yeah, size of a large dog.
He's the corporal. Corporal.
Scrooge has some problems with this human accent.
I don't speak
Her voice
right.
goes just deeper for a second as she's trying to talk.
I mean, I could do it. It'll take a little bit of time, a little bit of work, but we could get some measurements. So you use this giant monstrous raccoon to in your fighting. Is that the part of how you fight?
Yes. He's
Interesting.
Yeah, he goes in and fights.
Interesting. And would you like a saddle as well, mate, as well? Is he for riding or just for fighting? So I can either put
I'll turn to like
Might be.
he's bringing up a saddle for Mr. Bitey.
What? I don't ride him. That's barbaric.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But you know,
That's what Jabbersnatch has been doing.
Yeah.
what is Jabba?
Jabba's. There's no rules there.
Yeah, but if he's got a armor on, it'd be hard to actually hold on because you're holding onto leather, which you won't be able to grip compared to holding onto fur.
Just put like little
I have hooks.
put like a little handle on the back of the armor.
Yeah.
That way, also, if we're in water, somebody could just grab a hold of the handle on the back of Mr. Bitey.
And as the GM, you can also put a leash onto Jabbersnatch.
Also, we should probably look into a stronger leash. Thinking about it.
Where do they go?
One that's less edible.
Yeah, like a chain. A chain. We need a chain.
I'm sure
No saddles. But could you put a handle on the back?
A handle to pick him up? He's quite a bit large.
No, not to pick up. To just hang on to.
I guess so. That'd be a bit of a strange one, but we'd probably have to put the handle on above the shoulders, so because that's where the power is, and it's doable.
That would work. Yes, handles.
It might take a couple of weeks to actually get organised, or to. It's a little bit of a different. We'll do some mock-ups and we'll start working. I think right away. You seem apprehensive. Like you do have money.
Yeah.
Okay. And you understand it's going to cost money for this.
Yes. Now, how much gold are we talking for this?
Well, because it's custom and because it's and the handle and the unusual work, we're probably going to have to make about 3 of them and just see which one works the best. So I would say, I'm trying to think what's the cost of a what is the cost of leather armor in this? Any idea?
No.
Yeah, leather armor is 10 gold.
Okay. He's going to ask for 60.
Yes, I can pay them.
Shh. You can't go a little bit, give us a little discount? We did save this town.
Oh, I know that. That's why I'm even entertaining the idea. Because if we get attacked again, it's like, well, we might need to call upon you again.
Yeah, exactly. For Mr. Bitey, he's
But-
very helpful.
This is the very best work. I don't sell anything that's not the best work.
I have 56 golds.
Shh. That's understandable. We've worked so hard for this town.
Yes, I know you've mentioned. And again, that's why I'm even like willing to try to take on such a work. If you were just goblins, there was no way that I would even work for you. But you're not. You're heroes of Sandpoint. You're almost one of us.
50 gold and we won't eat his family. How about that?
Kind of like
you.
it, no, dude.
Tell him that.
Shh! I'm trying to do something here. Could you go down to 50 gold?
Oh, it may take a little bit longer. We may have to spend more time working more accurately with the prototypes and have your, and looks at the raccoon, friend come in several times more for fittings. But possibly, I think that might be doable. Just may take a bit more
Yes,
time.
that's fine. That's perfectly acceptable. After all, we're the heroes of Sandpoint.
Well then,
We're
yeah.
very glad. We're very eager to work with everyone here and, do business with everyone. After all, business is very good for everyone here, isn't it?
Well, but we've had some recent issues. Of course, the attack has kind of let things down. I hear the town's not going to do well without them. Well, unless the glassworks restart, the town may suffer quite a bit. They are very much a
Yeah.
driving industry in town.
Yes, it's such
Yeah.
a shame. That's why we want to actually do some business transactions with a good number of places in here to help the town as much as we can.
It was the only glassworks in the nation, as far as I hear.
Oh my goodness,
But-
that's such a shame.
Does he look rich, Screech? Maybe he's got shinies. You can marry him. Brett's not around either.
Or marry whoever owned this glassworks.
Dead. You've seen who owned the glassworks covered
And
in
he
glass.
gets something poured
I
glass.
don't know about. I'm Jabba Snatch. I don't know that.
No, you actually wouldn't. No,
It
strangely.
works.
How rich does he look?
How rich does he look? Well, it's hard
Which
to
one did this guy
tell.
get?
It's hard to tell, but his merchandise is certainly at high quality. So, and where most people would see a tanner and just smell and go, "That's disgusting," you probably wouldn't. Which is strange.
Also, you say you can make other things.
Yes,
You said belts and cloaks and other
Yes.
things.
yes.
Well, I could probably use something befitting of my stature, as a bard and hero of Sandpoint.
What would you have in mind?
Well, what do you think would be a good choice for someone like me? A
Flips mop hair.
Yeah.
a charming and successful and pretty goblin bard as such as myself.
You hear a snicker.
A bath?
Shush. I just kind of kick him.
Hey,
Shut up.
So,
what's
well,
Spidey?
I don't think I could probably. I don't think. Wait, you do wear leather armor, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I could make you armor, far better than what you're wearing now. That is, unless it's masterwork. Then no. I know there's masterwork armors in the party, so I'm not really sure. But
No, I just have the armor I started with.
We had masterwork. It was the breastplate, but I was the only one who could wear it, and I couldn't move.
Okay, and you
I was
probably ate
basically
it.
in a can.
Okay.
So now I have hide armor.
Yep. So he can make armor, and he can put decorations on it if you would like. Would you like to? We could make it white with embellishments and some embroidery work and some scroll work on it.
That sounds very nice.
Of course, it's very
And-
expensive, but
Yes, how expensive?
again, probably about 60 gold.
Very well. I will. Yes, that sounds quite excellent. After all, again, we want to do as much business as we can.
Mhm.
I, Screech, the charming and pretty bard who is not married.
So convincing.
So not convincing.
Just that emphasis on bard. I am a bard. Didn't know.
Not married.
And I'm very pretty. I have very luxurious hair.
It is really nice.
Like
here.
wrings it out. Puts it again.
See it when it gets wet.
So if you'd like to put down in the treasure book that you are commissioning these two items, they will take time, and we'll get back to essentially when they arrive, and also mark the money off up front.
Yeah.
Because if you actually question the being paid up front, he says, well, you are in a dangerous line of work, so I would prefer to at least know that the item's going to get made, and then used. But if you do die, then the item may not ever get. Like, I don't want to make an item of such amazing quality and not have someone to sell it to.
Ask if he wants a necklace of elf ears. Or a silver box. I'll even throw in the dust.
You want to sell the silver box to him?
Yeah, like trade it for the work. I'll try and
He looks at it and he looks it over and says, "I think that would be acceptable for the raccoon's armor."
and I'll try and point at the
You can get the dust, and the necklace.
this huge.
Jake, no. Humans aren't into that for some reason. It's not shiny enough.
They're like snakes you can carry around.
I may be a tanner, but I don't deal with in-ears.
Okay. I don't know the Goblin'Lords saying, does he want the dust?
No, you can keep the dust.
You can keep the dust.
You can throw it in people's eyes. Really handy in a fight.
Tanner, not adventure. The dust may be more useful for yourself.
All right. I'll stow it in my pocket just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you hold out your pocket and just pour this essentially sand into your pocket.
Pocket sand, always handy.
Right down a pocket sand. Or pouch of sand.
Yeah, and
Fine,
I do have those gems on me, so I guess would this be a good place to try to get rid of them, or just some of them?
He wouldn't have a clue about the gems.
Okay. I have some items that I found, on our adventuring that I need to sell, so I'll go take care of that, and I'll come back and pay you for
Yes.
my armor.
Yes.
If that would be acceptable.
Yes, that's acceptable. Just understand that. Just understand that no work will be starting without.
Of course. You
without
can start
payments.
on Bitey's armor.
I think he loves you.
You call him Bitey. I'll be having to do a lot of measurements. How, and just is he? If I'm going to get close to him, like.
Wow. Do you
Jake,
taste good?
you could just tell Mr. Bitey to not bite him, right?
Bitey, this human is not for biting. He might touch you in strange places, but this is Screech's human, so you be nice to him.
Because you have that innate communication, that innate knowledge of Mr. Bitey and each other, you feel him, like you know that he's digging his claws into the wooden floor even more, as if I can't bite, but can I claw?
No bleeding, no bleeding. Bruise one or two, maybe.
There's certainly a disappointment. Only you can see that, but there's certainly disappointment.
Sure. You can stop licking your chops in this direction. It'll throw him off.
It should be fine.
He does some strange measurements on Mr. Bitey and double checks and writes down things. Thankfully, Jabbersnatch is not there. Writes down things. And then says, well, whenever, if like every couple of days, if you can, please come back and we'll have to do some more measurements. It's going to be more intensive than normal, because we're only going to be making one. We're only going to be making one suit and seeing how it works instead of making multiples, and it would have been a faster process. But thank you if you can come back from time to time to.
Of course, we should be staying here for a while. We don't have any plans unless, something again tries to just burn the town down. We'd have to go take care of that, of course.
I think he's inviting you back here.
I know. That's what I'm.
Just don't bring Red.
We need to keep Red away from here. So, granted, if we see somebody richer, just...
Especially if he's putting that tape around you, Red will not be happy.
No. Red's never happy. Unless, if there's that kind of stuff.
He's kind of like on a bell curve of angry.
Yeah. He's been getting so much more angry lately.
Yeah.
Clearly, it is Baba Gugan speaking through him. His presence here is very strong. I say from the door frame, but I'm standing backwards.
The Tanner does mention if you have any jewels to be changed over into actual currency, you may want to speak to Maeva Kess, the jeweler.
Thank you very much. We'll be taking care of that.
Yeah, across from the cathedral.
Thank you. We'll be taking care of that and coming back as soon as we can to pay you for my armor.
Yes.
Befitting of me, Screech.
Yes.
The available, charming, pretty goblin part.
Who is also really rich.
Yeah,
she had a crown and she has her own golden home.
She's the queen of this town. Respect her.
So what else is happening, Red? How are you going in your rage?
Well, over the amount of time that's passed, probably the effects have worn off.
Yes.
So I'd be making my way back into Sandpoint now.
Yep. So what are other people's plans? Without having to go through too much detail.
I'm not buying anything else. If that guy's the only guy who sells bows in the town, then I guess I won't worry about buying a bow.
Selling jewels might be an incident.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So you walk into the jewelers. The jewelers is a stone building across from the cathedral, number 5 for reference. And can I get a how can I put this? Calmness roll,
Okay.
as there's jewels and shiny.
Oh, no.
Will save?
Oh,
Would that be a will
no.
save?
Wait. Bitey, grab her.
Bitey's getting measurements.
No,
Oh,
but that's
it's
already
just
done.
up to you, Jake.
No, that's already done.
Oh.
But
Would have been
That's
funny
good.
though, Jake having to
Oh,
hold back
it would
Screech.
have been terrible.
did not want to be left alone with Bitey.
Uh,
Because you are calling
Yeah.
him Mr. Bitey and Corporal Bitey, and he's big.
yeah, I guess we'll save.
Can he attempt
Well,
to grab?
can I get an intelligence check or perception? Or
Okay.
something
from-
along those lines before you walk in? Of oh crap, we're about to go into, oh no! Like that type of thing.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
No.
Wait, one more person.
Oh, Mr. That rolls a 2 to get that. Okay. But does Mr. Bitey know about it? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
don't think Mr. Bitey
He
knows
might not
about
know where we're going. I think if we were
Yeah.
in there, he might.
It. Yeah.
It might click.
Yeah. So, this squat stone building escaped the fire which ravaged northern Sandpoint. Much relief to the yeah, blah blah blah. Maver. Okay, so there's guards just inside the door. As you walk in, there's guards just inside the door, and in front of you is like a counter, and there's a couple of counters, but there's a counter with jewels, gems, necklaces, rings, all of decent quality, and there's a couple of locals in here browsing around and just looking at all the shinies and looking at the pretties. And the guards are very much paying attention to them and keeping an eye. There's a back door, there's a back room it seems, but there seems to be a significant lock on that in itself. But as you walk in, Screech just sees the shinies and the amount of them.
Her eyes just start dilating.
She has gold sickness.
Now, wait, whoa,
Shinies.
quick, grab her.
You contain yourself.
And Bitey gives you a hug.
I've got audio just for this.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, I think you'd like this one. The heartbeat.
Yeah. These guards are wondering what the hell is going on.
The heartbeat is just like boof, 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 boof.
I'm fine. They're just a bunch of shinies anyway.
There's a well-dressed man behind the central counter.
Hello. I'm Screech. I'm one of the heirs of Sandpoint. The greatest party ever lived. I have some jewels I would like to sell.
Yes, you are, Screech. and I was wondering when you're going to come and visit this amazing establishment and bejewel yourself and in all of our finery.
Yeah.
All humans look ugly to
To
me.
put up her blinders so she can't see anything.
She's kind of not paid a lot of attention. Like in my head, I kind of took some off, but she's somewhat aware. This is someone who's a jeweler.
Mm-hmm.
The source of the shinies.
Yeah. Yes, I've been really wanting to come here. Really wanting to come here. Yeah, I did. She'll start taking jewels out. I got all of these.
The crown.
Also, yeah, the crown. I saw this. It doesn't fit me anymore.
You could make you a tiara.
It's good. Excellent point. So can you help me with these things? She just sometimes like looks around.
Eyes
Yes.
on
So
him.
you'd like to trade in these pretty gems for would you like to be put onto the crown?
Well, the crown doesn't fit me anymore.
Well, we can
because
resize
somebody broke
that.
it.
We could-
Yes, could you resize that? That would
Ma'am.
be very nice.
My wife could easily resize that. She's quite a skilled jeweler. She works with gold and other items. It's not gold. The crown is not gold. I believe it's copper or something less. Yes, but it was a crown. Well, it was used as one. Well, we can always have it resized, and we can have it made so it fits it fits your head to makes you be the queen that you certainly are.
Yes, that's
But a queen
that's
should
very
have
true.
gems on their crown, should they not? They should
Yeah,
show
they
their
should.
wealth. Show
Yeah.
all their wealth on their crown so that everyone understands that they are subservient to them. Is that correct? I believe it is.
yes, it's very true.
Hmm.
I think so, anyways.
And as such, would you like these gems, which you... I'm sure you wouldn't want them to be transferred into like something mundane as just gold and other coins, but actually affixed to the crown itself.
Well, I do need some gold to have on hand.
Oh,
but
yes, to pay the servants, of course, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
to pay the servants. But also a few other things befitting me. So, how much, like, how, I mean, how much how much are these gems worth? Like, I had a little bit of guess, or somebody did. Also, I assume.
I'm sure it's the guards.
Yeah.
A lady like yourself would not have gas.
No. Yeah.
It was me.
Sounds like
There's that
again.
bully up coming back up.
How much? I assume that it would cost a little bit to resize the crown,
yes,
and
yes.
put some gems on it. So, how much would that cost?
About 500 gold.
I beg your pardon.
I thought I was clear. About 500 gold.
500 gold?
Yes.
How much would it cost just to resize this crown?
About 500 gold.
Just resizing it.
Oh, yes. The attachment is a bit more rudimentary. We can do that for this time for free.
What about just attaching things to it?
About 500 gold.
Okay.
We're not using glue here. We're jewelers.
I think he
Not
just
alchemists.
wants 500 gold.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that. Honestly, before we came here, I was just thinking of asking Red to throw the crown around a bit, hoping that it'd get bent again so it'd fit me.
Oh, but you
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
want
Red can
Or have
do that.
Bitey play it with it.
but you wouldn't want it bent.
A
Then
bit, you
it'd be out of shape. You want it to be fit to your head, so it looks like it is made for you. It will be your crown, and only your crown.
This is no way for a man to get a wife.
He said he's already married.
And Goblin.
Don't
Yeah,
worry,
I
we can
know.
solve that. We
Yeah.
can solve that. Just saying though, he seems to be a pretty good candidate if you wanted to marry anyone.
Yeah, he does.
Don't worry about the wife thing. I'll get rid of
He
her.
seems to get a lot of
She'll be
500 gold.
sacrificed.
Baba Google will have her.
Okay, first off, I'm saying this in Goblin to Jake. We can afford that, which is an absolute shame, because I really want my It's not
Well-
fair.
We'll fix your crown. We'll fix it.
It's not fair. I wanted jewels on it.
We-
Also, I'm gonna have to find out who his wife is to make sure she's Jabba's first sacrifice. I think maybe I need to really open these options.
Yeah, well, you know, I almost feel sorry for dealing with this 500 gold human. That's all he says. 500 gold.
Yeah, he's clearly not the most intelligent, but intelligence doesn't matter here. Actually, that's preferable. The less intelligent, the better.
I mean, also, if the 500 gold is the only thing he says, you'll likely just keep getting 500 gold from everyone.
That's a
Maybe
good point.
if we eat him and then his wife takes over, you can marry her. That'll do.
That too.
Yeah.
You only need one.
Yeah, it will have to. Wait, I'd have to like see her too. I'll have to weigh it which is the better candidate.
Oh,
Either
well,
way,
okay.
we eat a human.
Yeah. But anyways, I will have to get back to you on all of that. I might be doing some other stuff and get some more gems. I might have some. I
Would you like
might know
me
where
to?
some
Would you like
other
me
gems.
to transfer the gems that you do have into gold? Would that help you?
Yes, that would be most excellent. So I can, actually, thinking about it, I can find better gems for my
Yeah.
crown. I
Oh, yes.
deserve the very best.
And once
Yeah.
the gems are on the crown, it's a bit costly to remove them and change them because you need to. It's not just, as I said, we don't use glue here.
Yeah, but the point is not the cost necessarily, but having to go through all of that.
Oh, yes.
No, my crown deserves better. I deserve the best.
Ah, yes.
Right then and there, not upgrading it. So yes, I would like to exchange these gems for some money, some gold, if you.
So which gems do you have, and do you have values for them?
I just start showing them all the gems.
I know you've
Broken
got.
common. Jake
I'm-
will say
I'm-
500 gold.
I think these gems might be worth, 500 gold.
So from the crab, there were 40 precious stones worth 10 gold each. So that's 400 just there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely 500.
Yeah. So I don't know where you've got other ones. I'm sure there's others.
I was lying. I was lying about I might have some other gems elsewhere. I don't want it to seem like this is all I have.
Yeah. After all, you're like a single
We're those
bard.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So I just shove all these gems at him. Or like my 500, I think 500 gold would be acceptable. And I look forward to doing business with you in the future.
He does. He does say, "Well, I think we'll need to inspect them and check each one out." And he calls his wife out, who is a very beautiful looking woman, in late 20s, younger than him. And she walks across from the back area to the front counter with grace and finery. And she starts looking into them. She greets you warmly. She's got charisma. She's very lovely. And she starts looking through things, and she comes up with the 400 gold figure instead.
We should definitely eat him.
He did.
You marry this one.
Yep.
Fair.
This one's young and fresh.
Yeah,
The other
fair.
one's kind of crusty.
Fair. Yeah. Good point. Well, okay. I guess if you're the expert here, madam, not me.
Ah, yes.
Screet. Yeah, I'm just a bard. Hey.
I studied as a bard as well
Charming.
when I was younger, but
Oh.
I found I was more creative with my hands.
I think she's
When she
coming
was
on
younger,
to
what,
you.
like when she was 2?
Well, it's nice to meet a fellow bard. You know, I'm not very good at this sort of stuff. I'm better at singing and entertaining people. I'm not talented enough to.
So you're
Do all
part of the
this.
stage? You're part of the theatre in town?
I've not worked with the theater. I've done other things. Performed in other places. I've not yet performed in the theater. I haven't had the chance saving the town, all that going on.
Ah, yes. We've heard of some of that going on, yes. But
Yes.
if you'd like some work, I'm sure the theatre will take you on. Don't listen
Yes.
to her, Miko. She has a thing about the theatre owner. There's some rivalry. We don't know what happened in the city, but something went on.
Well, that does happen.
Yes.
But it's a pleasure to meet you both and to do business with you both.
Well, hopefully that we can work together for more things in the future.
Of course, I look forward to working with you. Me, Screech, the pretty, charming, available bard.
Oh boy.
He's the
Gabby
best.
will leave a token of Baba Gugan somewhere in the vicinity.
just drop it and kick it underneath one of the shelves.
Somewhere.
Please.
I don't know where I'm facing. Wherever I am.
Don't.
I put it somewhere.
Don't ruin this. Yes, so
500
I'm
gold.
blessing this place for you. Giving you good luck for Baba Gugan. See you first.
Speaking of Babagugon, welcome in Baboonski. Welcome, thank you for the raid. Come on in. We're doing a little bit of goblin version of shopping, where everything costs 500 gold. So, is there anything else that's pressing for the week or pressing for the
No,
there is stuff you
I
can do.
mean-
I know you've picked up a few things. There are some magical things as well you picked up. So over that time, I'm sure Flibs will be able to research them and go through a few things with those. So we will change this across because well, that was weird. That's the wrong button. Certainly the wrong button. So we're going to move to that background scene because we're moving into the next chapter. But as we move into the next chapter, as I said, there's things you picked up in the dungeon. Those arrows that you picked up out of the dungeon are +1. So you picked up 3 arrows of arrows are +1. That was in the Bunyip's lair.
I imagine we'll give those. Screech sometimes uses a bow, right?
Yeah, that's basically the weapon I try to use because that's the only thing I'm good at.
So,
Well, apart from singing.
Oh,
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes, and charming and rich nobles.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of which, I think you can sing now as a move action, can't you? Like you don't need you can attack in the same round. I think.
I got, as a level 5, I got Lore Master, and my song does a +2 now.
Yeah, but I think your song also it gets faster with level, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Maybe it might be after that. I'll find out for you.
Yeah. Also, I marked off the 60 gold, and so I got 366 on me.
Yep.
So, if people need money, I got a bunch.
The bone wand, which
It's at 7th level.
The bone wand which Jabbersnatch tried to eat, because it made a bone, is actually a wand of shield. Now only with 8 charges because we've used a charge. So can someone put down?
You can put it on Flib's.
I didn't use it.
Character
Flip
sheet.
did.
So can someone just put it down as like in the treasure that it's there with 8 charges? And I'm sure Flips will end up having it, but we want a record of it there as well. And there was the deep green. The spinel. That was also worth 100 gold, so you can have that cashed in as well. There was a garnet on the hilt, which Mr. Bitey found. That was worth 500 gold.
Ooh.
So you can also have that cashed in. Oh my god, it's worth the same as getting a crown made.
Red had that one, and he didn't bother mentioning it to anyone else.
No.
Yeah.
But you can have that cashed in, because it's easy as just to have it cashed in if you want.
Okay, I will convert it to cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, no, you didn't tell anyone about that because, well, it was shiny and didn't want people to do it.
I figured it would cause more problems than it was worth to mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel guilty for how greedy Screech is.
Yeah, she really is.
Sure you do.
I
will
do.
say that-
I feel bad, but I
She's
can't.
basically Smeagol.
But
Yeah,
so good.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's fun being greedy, but I also feel bad for it.
Because you're greedy, yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for it.
The ring that was picked up as well is a ring of force shield.
Oh.
So it's essentially gives you shield.
Oh. Neat.
+2 to AC shield bonus whenever
Oh.
you're wearing it. So it's awesome.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the highest AC. Granted,
You
I'm
need
the
to
one
be
who
able to
needs
use a
it the most.
shield. Oh no, you don't. You
No.
do not need
No.
to be able to use a shield,
No.
and it does not. You do not suffer arcane spell failure either.
Oh.
So that means that it's good for even like flips to use,
Yeah. Yeah. What?
and it can be activated or deactivated as at will as a free action. So yeah, nice item.
Yeah.
No good for me. I already use a shield.
Mm. So.
And is there any other thing? Also, the candles. Are you going to keep the candles, or are you going to try to offload
Yeah,
them?
I'll just keep them. What the heck? They can't be worth very much.
25
But,
gold each.
Yeah.
We
But
can eat 'em.
who knows? Maybe we'll want them at some point.
They're actually pretty. Like with 60 ever burning
When
candles.
we create a goblin lair, we can have them on the cave walls, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We can put them in the shape of Baba Gugan's holy symbol. Yeah.
True.
Now there's just like a shrine on the beach too, just
Yeah.
filled with like eternal burning candles. Everyone's really confused.
Even more confused when high tide comes in and you can see the fire underneath in the shape of Baba Gugon underneath the water. Yeah.
I think I'll keep them as flares, right? Like sometimes you need to see down a well or something. We can throw a candle.
I don't need to see.
For the hermit crab, there was an amulet of natural armor +1. I think that's already been mentioned and identified.
Okay.
And I think that's about it.
I've got a wand of zapping, which I don't know where it came
Oh, wand of zapping. Kind of important to know where it came from, but I think I have an understand. I think it's a. I'll have to look into it a bit more, but yes, there's.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember there's a wand of zapping somewhere. Yes. So yeah, a week passes with bits and pieces. And you can do small minor things. I don't mind. You can pick up small things. It's going to be hard if you want to really pick up that bow though, because of that person doesn't really like customers. And Red, you do find out shortly after, like if you ask someone what's the deal with that guy, you actually hear his name, and it's the same name as what the kids were using in their songs. So even the kids don't like him, and they make fun of him. Which is why I put that song in there as well, because it's like, that's really funny and really powerful.
So you're saying that no one would care if you went missing?
Soundguarded care.
There's legalities of people going missing, and there's moralities of people being sacrificed, and I know that doesn't, like, the morality is positive for your character.
And it's illegal.
Not to Baba Gugan. Baba Gugan, it is sanctioned and very legal. It's just illegal to these humans in this town.
Yeah.
But Baba Gugan rules all. So who has the higher power? Baba Gugan.
Except
obviously. So I have to follow
Baba
his rules.
Gugan doesn't rule here.
Yes, he does.
The mayor does.
You're not seeing the
This is
evidence.
obvious.
It's everywhere. Look at all the battles we've won.
Somebody's
Yeah, because I'm strong.
Yes, you're given the power through Baba Gugan.
No, through my extracts.
Yes, your internal rage. It is demonic in nature. It has to be.
No, it's chemical.
It's definitely chemical.
Baba Gugan, or Jabba Snatch is like, I don't know why you just won't admit it. Clearly, Baba Gugan is within you. He has chosen you. Just accept it. Why don't you admit this?
Sure.
who's on more drugs here?
It's hard to tell sometimes. No, it's not hard to tell. It's frightening that you don't think Jabba Snatch is on drugs at all.
Jabba, you've been in the toilet water again.
And that's the frightening
Now the
part.
Toilet. Like, what's a toilet? We dig.
They're always in the toilet water.
You did find
The
a
sea.
toilet.
And when it's not toilet water, it becomes toilet water.
This is true.
You did find a toilet at the fortress.
Did I find it or somebody else? Because it might have just been a bowl of water.
No, you did. Like, someone found a toilet, and it was a toilet, and the goblins had been using the toilet. And now that I'm saying you're not going back there, the vault is right behind the toilet. Which was why the goblins were told to at least use the toilet, so people don't want to go and investigate that room.
That's why it was so weird. Goblins don't use toilets.
Exactly.
We're so
Yeah.
confused.
That's why I was
An
giving
obvious
hints. That's why I was giving hints. Because she wouldn't use toilets, no. But of course, Red thinks that it was just disciplined, of course.
For no reason at all, I go back.
No, it's not. So there's a lot of really interesting things like in the background. I love these things. So after about a week of things coming down and things getting weird and still not weird, and you're just enjoying the fact that you have a nice place to stay. You've got fresh garbage. You've got your own little temple on top of the tavern. Things like that. Red, are you starting an armory? Have you like in the closet?
Yeah, well, we've got. I'll probably still keep my stuff in the cave on Junk Beach because I think those goblins aren't going to be raiding there anymore.
Hell yes.
No, you don't think the goblins are going to be raiding that area? No.
Yeah. So yeah, all the extra stuff we'll get. I'll carefully mount it on the cavern walls like racks, and then place them each carefully in place.
Yep.
Make sure they're all clean and polished first.
Yep. So after the time passes, one afternoon when you all just seem to be together, just coincidence, the sheriff comes in to the tavern and shoots away the big fly. Okay, it's gone. The sheriff comes into the tavern and says he needs to speak with you, speak with all of you of a matter that's he's got concern about. It's early morning. It's
They haven't done anything.
it's okay. It's not about anything you've done. Although I've been hearing stories.
You need us to save the town again.
Let's talk in private. And he takes you to he takes you back to your communal room in the tavern, instead of the tap room where everybody is. And there's still not many people around, but he seems a bit nervous about being around people. He says, "First, let me thank you again for all you've done for Sandpoint. It's fortunate that you've proven yourself capable."
I should. Before we continue the conversation, I want to gauge Red's mood. Has he been awarded the medal yet or not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So he's good.
It's like, go on.
Okay. So it's all about the medals, isn't it? So you've proven yourself capable because. It's fortunate that you've proven yourself capable because we have a problem I think you can help us with. A problem I wish that didn't involve anyone. A problem I wish I didn't have to involve anyone with, but one that needs dealing with now before the situation grows worse. Simply put, we have a murderer in our midst. One, I fear, who has only just begun his work. I doubted you would know the late unpleasantness, how the town nearly tore itself apart in fear as the chopper slayings went on unanswered. I'm afraid we might have something similar brewing now. Last night, a murderer struck at the sawmill. There are 2 victims, and they're in pretty gruesome shape. Their bodies were discovered by one of the workers, a man named Ebor Thorn, and by the time my men have arrived, there was a scene and crowd of curious gawkers that have already sprung up. I've got my men stationed there now, keeping the mill locked down, but one thing that bothers me is the fact that these are not... One thing that bothers me isn't the fact that we have 2 dead bodies inside. It's the fact that this is actually the second set of murders that we've had in the last few days. I come to you for help in this matter. My men are good, but they're also green. They were barely able to handle themselves against the recent attacks, and what we're facing now, is an evil far worse than goblins. I need your help, but I'm afraid you'll need help too. You see, I'm afraid that this particular murderer knows you as well. And he hands you a note from his pocket. which I need to then find. Closing bits and getting notebooks. I know, it's all stuff. Handout 2.2 and show to players. There we go. It says, "You will learn to love me, desire me in time as she did. Give yourself to the pack, and it shall end, or it shall all end. Your lordship."
Definitely wasn't me. I
And do you
can't
think
write.
this note is for us?
It was left with the body.
Oh, so it was probably for the victim.
Are the victim's family or friends? Or just the town?
Well, one of the victims was one of the owners of the sawmill. The other, a young girl from town. Of course, if you do find out what's going on, and we'll pay if you take us up on investigating and helping us. We'll reward you with 500 gold if you can help stop the murders.
Yes,
Sweet
we will
cheese,
save your
500
town
gold.
again. Now, you said there was another set of murders. Tell us about those.
Yes, the other murders. I've got to scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah, more scrolling. More. There we go. First notice. He explains that 2 days ago, a patrol of guards along the Lost Coast Road were assaulted by a deranged man in a near abandoned farm to the south of town, along the banks of the Cougar Creek. The man was obviously sick and insane. His flesh fevered, his eyes wild, mouth frothing, clothes caked in blood. The guards subdued him, but when they checked inside the barn, they discovered mutilated bodies of 3 men. Although all bodies were far too disfigured, one of them carried a piece of parchment. And he says, and he actually gives you another note.
Messrs. Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe? A deal has come about that I need capital for. It involves property and gold, and though I'm not at liberty to tell you the exact details, it will make us all rich. Come to Bradley's barn on Cougar Creek tonight. We can meet there to discuss our futures. Your lordship. Okay, so signed the same way.
Yeah.
Except far more coherent, I think. All right. Where's this Bradley's barn? Cougar Creek. Where's that?
It's down to the south of the town, but I think the sawmill is. I think you might want to investigate that.
We'll want to investigate all of it. We must gather evidence in a disciplined manner.
Why would they have a creek full of cougars? This confuses me.
No, they just named them that way. It's like they have Mill Pond, but there's no mill in the pond.
And why would you call it that?
I think it's because it's near a mill. So maybe there's a cougar near the creek.
Ah, a warning. Be prepared to
like
murder.
if you swim in the creek, a cougar might come by and roar at you or something. All
Lake
right.
cougars.
So we have to go to the sawmill. We have to go to this barnyard. We want to investigate. Where was the first murder? I forgot the location of the first murder.
The barn.
Oh, was that the barn? That was the barn. Okay.
The first murders were in the barn?
At Cougar Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it was a trap. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 bodies, and the sheriff also says that although the bodies were mutilated, we think, well, we're pretty certain that we know who the victims were.
And we'll want to see these bodies, the bodies of both murders.
Well, that can be arranged, of course.
And who is this who found the murder victims, the most recent ones? You gave us a name.
The person's actually the person who found the work at the mill. He's at the mill at the moment. The three bodies from the first. Well, we'll start from the first. The three bodies from the first incident. They're at the garrison. They're in the basement. If you would like to look at them.
We will.
The survivor, he was taken to the sanitarium just outside of town. Habe's sanitarium. He was just incoherent, and we thought Habe might be able to help him.
Maybe Jabba can reason with him. They are very good at speaking to the insane.
Is that like eats like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this false acolyte.
And but the recent murders last night, the person that found the murders last night there, he's still at the sawmill. He's detained by
All right.
Yeah.
We must go to the sawmill now. The bodies are still there?
Yes, the bodies are still there. We've identified them, but they're in a gruesome state.
All right. We will go there first.
Yes.
We may need more information from you.
You have.
We know where you are.
Well, I'm going to. Well, one of the victims' fathers. I'm going to be speaking to, so I'll be at the guardhouse.
Yes.
Because
we will stop by the guardhouse if we need your assistance.
Yes. The guards. My guards understand at the mill that you're coming. We hope that you
Troops,
accept this.
Prepare for march.
Let's go.
I don't like marching.
I also see that one note has blood on it. May I taste that blood that note has as I shove that paper in my mouth and chew it? Is it the blood of the victim or the murderer?
This makes sense.
Can you identify the blood of the victim and the murderer?
Can I do that?
Yeah, okay. You can try.
I mean, I suppose what Gemma would have to do is taste the blood of the victims and compare.
So I'll just say I wasn't on the right screen, so I wasn't reading chat. So Jabbersnatch splashes unholy water on him to bless him when he approaches them. Who's that to?
Oh, the sheriff guy.
Okay.
I had to purify him before he entered our sanctum.
The
No one's allowed
sanctum's
to
the
enter the
roof.
tavern, our temple, without being purified.
The sanctum's the roof. Less the purification's the roof only, not the underneath.
Well, that's
What?
not what Jabbas thinks.
Okay,
Jabbas thinks
cool.
the entire tavern is now the temple and is blessing people as they enter.
Oh boy. Jabbersnatch, it wasn't me. I haven't sacrificed any in town yet. Jabbersnatch witches, if it was me, I wouldn't have left any evidence. I obviously would have shared the evidence with you guys, and they wink without eyelids. Oh my god. Yes, so much.
So they have no eyes because they scratched it out. The point is, they would have ate the person that they
Yes.
sacrificed and then shared the people with you.
Yes,
Because all of you must also share in the bountiful harvest.
of paper. Okay. So you Red, you see that Jabbersnatch reaches for the paper to tongue out to lick the blood, and tries to explain. I want to see if it's the victim's blood or the, and then suddenly it's all gone. You're
What
muted.
check would that be?
And Red does not look surprised or upset. He just says, "So."
What check would it be? And can I cast guidance on myself?
I wonder if Flibbs will be trying to be
Medical?
writing this down while no one's looking, so that we remember what it says.
But you haven't even seen the scene yet.
Yeah.
So you don't really you can't tell, but the blood is fresh.
Don't worry, guys. I have animate dead now.
What could go
It'll
wrong?
be okay.
That can never go right with Jabba Snatch. Never go.
Oh wait, I
right.
have augury.
Augury.
Can tell you whether a particular action is good or bad. Cool. I eat the paper and I cast augury. What does that tell me?
The beasties of all.
But what's the next action?
Oh, next action. The murders. Is the murderer a chosen of Babagugan? There we go, I guess.
No, that's not an action. That's a question.
Oh. I don't know. I just ate the paper and I'm trying to figure out whether or not this is a murder or not.
You can't.
All
tell.
right, my next action is to identify this blood.
If that would be good or bad.
I don't know. Still learning these spells. So many.
I can't really give you a concrete answer of that. It'd be the grey.
I mean, that's my next
Answer.
action.
Well, so what was your next action?
Identifying this blood.
Yeah, you can't.
Because that's what I'm doing.
The answer will be vague, and there wouldn't be a yes or no. There'd be no way to, yeah. There wouldn't be a wheel, wouldn't be a road. There'd just be a vague maybe.
It tastes like blood.
Yeah.
And that is what Jabba Snatch says.
Yeah.
Babagugan says it tastes like blood.
And then suddenly it tastes like paper.
I'll need to compare. I will need the blood of the murderer and the victim.
That's what you need to see.
Sounds like you just destroyed our evidence.
It's not evidence, it's a paper. Let's go. The bodies await.
Anyway.
And we'll finish it there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is the start of the next chapter of the Rise of the Rune Lords, but with us it's Rise of the Goblin'Lords, because it's much more funny with goblins. Let's face it.
It's better.
Screech's obsession with shiny and marrying people. Jabba Snatch, well,
It's very
is Jabba
important.
Snatch. Red's rage. I will say, when I was reading that up last night, I was like, okay, they're going to have to come back. I'll quickly read through the town. I was like, oh my god, this is not going to end well. And it's like, which party member would have went worse with? It's like, Red. Yeah. Yeah. And then the jeweler was like, yeah, that's going to end badly as well. But no, you contain yourself. It was good.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
I didn't. I knew what was going to happen, but no, you didn't. It was good. So we'll do just as a quick shout out of we're using Syrinscape for our audio and our sound. So check them out. They are amazing at Syrinscape.com. Our overlays, because it was mentioned, it was asked for by Babunsky. Our overlays are actually made by Cat Roulette. She's a artist streamer as well as a D&D streamer. She also does a few other bits and pieces. Amazing artist. We've used her for all three of the current overlay sets. They are really, really, really cool. Absolutely love it. And so that's that going on. And we'll do our shout-outs. Ursula, who you are?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ursa May. I play Screech, the greatest bard ever. And you can find me on Twitter at Ursa May Art and Instagram at Ursa May Arts, where I post art and stuff.
Okay. And Nick?
And
Hello, I'm Nick. I play Jabba Snatch, the blind cleric, worshiper of Babagun. And I am now going to figure out all these spells that I can cast on corpses.
Yeah.
and finish putting in all my 3rd level spells because, you know, as a cleric, I have access of all the spells and can prepare a certain number a day, but we're not going to do that, the preparing thing, because all of them are situational. So
Yep.
I just have to look through all of these and just choose one to cast.
And memorize
and
them all.
hope it's the right one.
Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot. Still don't know if Baba Gugon's the god of death, but certainly not a nice god, that's for sure.
Well, it seems that the evil, if you're a cleric of evil, you have to like be undead, otherwise you're healing. There's no like other.
Yeah.
God of sacrifice.
Yep. Trent?
I'm Treant Monk. You can find me at Treant Monk's Temple on YouTube.
Awesome. Kiwi?
I'm Kiwi. I got to play as Jank Dogbite, the cowardly little druid who's taming a human, and his awesome companion, Corporal Bitey, who's going to get some sick armor, I hope. Please.
And with handles, which will be very helpful.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to get some sick armor, please.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And with handles, which...
Yep. Okay, so my name is Karsh the Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave, and I just realised I did that to there. Whoopsie. So putting things on my main page is like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, we're capturing off that page, aren't we? Because I'm also shutting things down. Yay. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. And thank you so much, Baboonsky, for the raid. Hopefully you had a great game. 10 deaths sounds like a meat grinder for your game. That really does sound nasty. I'm going to see if we can catch that up. We'll do another raid for Zombie Orpheus because somehow they've only got very low numbers and they're a big channel. And they're also really cool. They even did a Goblin Hero song because last time we raided them, they gave me a song prize. And that's what they made up for us because goblins are heroes, aren't they?
Hero.
Yeah, well, true. So yeah, go and check them out. I've been binge watching all their YouTube stuff. They are amazing. They're really super funny. So thanks. We're going to be coming back tomorrow with more role playing. So check us out then, and bye.